All right. Take two. Already started the stream a little bit early and having some technical difficulties, so we're hopping on through a different source. And unfortunately, no Madden tonight. But yeah, the software we've been using to do these streams has been having some issues at different times and coming through super laggy. So we're just gonna be rolling through not so laggy source and hope that it works a little bit better for you guys on a more consistent basis. So it's going to turn into a little bit more of a Monday Night Football Q&A. And I'm now noticing that the game is reflecting in this picture of Peyton Manning. So hopefully I don't get copyrighted or anything like that for the reflection. But if it's an issue, then oh my gosh, it is literally playing in the back. So Peyton might have to go. Might have to lock Peyton out of here. Wonder if change this up. Let's see here. Nope. Not having any luck. All right, Peyton's out. Can't have the game reflected in the background. There we go. Picture of me and my wife instead. That works. Let's get Baker out here too. Why not? There we go. That works. And we might have a guest appearance by Steven tonight. We'll see. We shall see. But anyways, guys, sorry for the technical difficulties on the night. Appreciate anyone who does come out tonight, man. Yeah, bummer. No Madden for you guys tonight, but we're just cooling. Gonna do some fantasy Q&A when you guys decide to drop by. I am gonna play Madden, but other than that, we're just gonna sit back, watch some Monday Night Football, hang out, make a time. So hopefully you guys like the new overlay and everything, and the new kind of layout. I think it looks good, so I'm excited. Oh, Max Scherzer's in the crowd. Yeah, that's right. He's not a national anymore, which sucks. But what are you gonna do? That's baseball. So yeah, 3rd and 6 here for the Raiders, and let's see what happens. Carr fumbles. I think they're gonna call that a fumble. Wow, looks like Bosa knocked it right out of him. Huh. Yeah, Bosa knocked it out. Good stuff. I like me some Joey Bosa, man. Oh, come on. Oh, I forgot you guys can't see Madden. Yeah, I just made a bad play in Madden. Not that that's really going to surprise you guys. All right, let's see here. I'm going to try and see if I can't fix one thing. Looks like we don't have a thumbnail for tonight's video. Let's fix that. Yep, going to be Chargers ball here. I think it's going to be a good game, guys. I think it's going to go down to the wire. We'll see what happens. We shall see. Chase Brown, hey, what's up? How you doing? How are you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Hope everything's going well with you, man. Good to have you here, Monday Night Football, man. We're just cooling. Getting ready for some fantasy Q&A for the night. Hanging out while we watch the game, man. Gonna be a good time. Might have a guest appearance by Steven. We'll see what happens. See what happens. Yeah, no Madden tonight. Using a new platform here. Let's see. Need a Keenan Allen to get another 29 points. Yeah, man, I need Jared Cook to have 13 points. So I could definitely see Keenan Allen going up, in that high in the point area, right? But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's generally been Mike Williams being the high scoring guy. But it's not to say that it can't happen. So we'll see what happens, man. I hope that it works out in your favor, brother. Good to see you here tonight, man. Hope you're doing fantastic. Good to have you here as always, my guy. So, week 5, man. I'm a little worried for it. I've taken 3 straight weeks of losses. So it's no fun. No fun at all. I wonder how you guys are feeling headed into week 5. I'm not feeling great, but there's hope, man. There's definitely hope. A lot of good waiver wire targets. If you guys missed today's waiver wire video, we can still go back and watch it if you'd like. But nonetheless, man, I mean, AJ Green gonna be a top waiver candidate. It's crazy. Let's see here. Chase Brown, feeling my first win next week. Heard CMC is targeting week 6 return, so that's good news. That is good news, man. Good play here by, man, he's number 15. Good play by the Chargers there. Yeah, if CMC is coming by week 6, then I'm super excited, man. Like, super stoked. Being that I own him and I need him and I need to win some fantasy football games, man. So, yeah, thank you for the update, Chase. Appreciate that, man. Wow. Raiders with -5 total yards so far in this game. Chargers with 101. Wasn't really expecting that, man. But one bad drive. Oh, Herbert gets taken down. Big sack there. Let's hope that Jared Cook gets involved soon. He had that big catch on the first drive. I wonder how many points that was. Probably not enough. 3 points. So now I need about 9 more points out of Jared Cook. See what happens here. Let's see. Chase Brown, I heard he is attempting week 5 and trying to practice, but seems unlikely. Word. I hope it's week 5. I mean, the Panthers need him, man. We need him as fantasy owners, but the Panthers need him too. All right, 3rd and 15 for the Chargers. Let's see what happens. Let's get a ball to Jared Cook. Let's get a ball to Jared Cook here. Come on, Herbert. Dumps it off to Jackson. Not what we needed. Man, I feel bad there's no Madden on the screen for you guys tonight. You guys are missing out on the franchise. Let's see. Aaron Reborn, what is going on, brother? Good to have you in the chat, man. Good to have you in the stream tonight. Hope you're doing fantastic. Good to see you as always, my guy. I'm nervous. LOL. I hope Eckler and Waller don't go off, and I hope Mike Williams does. Yeah. For your sake, I hope that happens as well. But we'll see. See what happens, man. It's it's never out of the possibilities. So we'll see what happens. But good to see you, Aaron Reborn, man. Hope you stick around for a while. Hope you have a good time in tonight's stream. Trying out a new format for the stream. So No Madden on the screen is kind of the only downside, but it will allow Steven to hop into the stream as well. And kind of the software we've been using for the streams, it's hard to tell how laggy things are going to come through. And there's been times where it's been very laggy overall. So just try a new format, a lot of trial and error in these early days of the catch. I am playing Madden though. Aaron Reborn, most definitely. That's what's up, brother. That is what is up. Car dropping back 1st and 10 flag on the play. Yeah, man, I need Jared Cook to go wild here. I mean, not really wild. I just need him to have 9 more fantasy points, which I certainly hope happens. Certainly hope it happens. I'm going to take a break from Madden. No real reason to be playing Madden, I suppose. All right, let's see here. First 15, car dropping back, gets sacked. No way. Oops. No freaking way. Second down for the Raiders. I've got a 45% chance to win at the moment, according to my 20-man leagues. JRXSAS, what is up? Good to see you in the chat, man. Good to have you here as always. You guys were right on Saquon. Yeah, he balled the fuck out, man. Fantastic performance against a good defense in the Saints, right? As Jacobs catches the ball here on 2nd and 25, gets tackled right away. Yeah, I'm glad we were right on that one, brother. Let's see. I'm going to get our co-host Steven an invite here. Good to see you as well, man. I hope you're doing fantastic. Glad that we got that call right for you, man. We did pretty good this past week, but a couple things we did not do so good on. But overall, I mean, in terms of recommendations for you guys, we did all right. So that's good news. Glad that it worked out for you, brother. All right, let's see here. Car dropping back, finds this guy Renfro. Not going to be enough, though, I can tell you that much. Slow moving game for the Raiders right now. JRXSAS. I traded Saquon and Parker for Henry. I don't mind that trade, man. I mean, I'm a huge proponent of Derrick Henry. So I'm not against that, man. I think it's a good trade. And I don't really see any value, any consistent value in Parker. So I like the trade, man. What made you do that? I'm interested to hear. Just trying to get an overall upgrade at the running back position on, in terms of consistency. Chase Brown says, I love that trade. JRX says, should I hold on to him or trade him? I like the trade, man. I don't mind it. I mean, I like where Barkley's at. Don't get me wrong. But I like where Henry's at too, man. And I think it's a pretty good package deal, man. Let's see. Let's pull up some statistics while we're here. And Chase Brown says he loves the trade. All right, let's see here. Let's see what Barkley's matchups are going to look like coming up. Let's see. Dallas, a bit of a tough matchup, but the Saints were a tough matchup, and he balled out against them. Rams, surprisingly, a pretty good matchup overall. So let's see here. And you were saying that's what? Okay, this is what prompted you, the upcoming matchups. That's fair enough, man. Yeah. I mean, Dallas, Rams, Carolina, Kansas City is a good matchup, and then Vegas, though. And then after that, after the bye week, he's got Tampa Bay. So, yeah. And let's see. And that's in terms of Barkley. So not the prettiest schedule. Derrick Henry, I mean, is your RB1 in fantasy before this weekend. After putting up 24 points against the Jets, I don't think it's going to change. And then we've got for Derrick Henry, Jacksonville, a tough matchup against Buffalo, but then Kansas City, another tough matchup versus Indy. But I mean, really, with Derrick Henry, I don't think it necessarily matters. Let's see here. Steven is in the his A. Let's get Steven joined.
What is up?
Steven's in the building. The catch fam
is
is all together, man.
This is exciting stuff right here.
Yeah.
This is real exciting. I just had a whole bucket of queso too, so I'm fully ready to go.
Oh, you got to get the queso before the live stream, brother.
Yeah. Got my Justin Herbert jersey. Got my queso.
I like it.
We already know what's rocking.
I like it. So our boy JRX SAS just traded Saquon Barkley and Devontae Parker for Derrick Henry. Thoughts?
Ooh, I like that. I really like that.
For
a variety of reasons, I would say definitely you can bank on Henry for sure with the injury. I mean, Saquon Barkley, you just never really know. I mean, I obviously traded for him, and I'm still concerned week to week if Barkley's going to be healthy. But also, I mean, he outside of like one or two plays, he does look like he's always held up at the line of scrimmage. So, this offensive line's still a little sketchy.
Like I said, I'm never against trading for Derrick Henry.
The guy's an absolute animal.
Yeah. JRX SAS, I'm down 0-4. I need some big points, and maybe I can trade Henry for some pieces later. Yeah, good point, too.
Yeah.
Good
point. A lot of pieces.
Ace Brown, I'm 0-4, too. It's been a rough start. Yeah, I mean, I'm about to be 1-3 in both of my leagues as Eckler gets a handoff here.
Please, Eckler. Please.
Yeah. So how many points do you need Eckler to get tonight?
Let me check. I believe it's 15.
I think it'll happen, man. Unless he gets hurt again.
That injury was really sketchy. Here, I'm pulling it up right now.
Right away.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's got 3.5 right now in the half PPR setup that we rock with. Oh, man, yeah, it's going to be really close. That's all I got to say.
I need Jared Cook to have 9 more points. Another handoff to Eckler here on 2nd and 5. Griffin Stegman, what is going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great night. Hope you're enjoying some Monday Night Football. Rank these players for the rest of the season. Shenault, Moss, D. Williams, Hines, Ayuk, Hubbard, Mitchell, and Mooney. Okay.
That is close. I do like that Mooney slide in right there, though. I think he's going to be huge. Honestly, there's more value on Mooney than Allen Robinson right now.
There is. Justin Herbert misses Mike Williams there.
Oh, Mike Williams, an absolute beast right there.
My favorite player out of those guys from the rest of the season is probably Brandon Ayuk, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
As long as DJ Chark has a broken ankle, I like Shenault in full PPR as well.
As a historical truther of Debo, which has really paid out in spades this year for you, but I mean, you could probably say that Debo has definitely always gotten hurt. He always starts off really strong. You see how dominant this guy is, and then he gets hurt. And for the amount that they're heavily targeting Debo, the targets have got to go to Ayuk once he jumps in, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I like Hubbard as long as CMC's out, but he didn't really do a lot with that volume this weekend. So,
trying to look up.
I like Zach Moss a lot as well. I really do. I would put Zach Moss actually probably at the top of that list. I like Hines as well. I mean, those are all good flex players, Griffin. If you have all those players on your roster, then it's definitely going to be difficult to decide who to flex in. But if you're asking me personally, I would roll with Ayuk or Moss on a weekly basis. And then I would rank Shenault right after that. But some of those guys are only – and I mean, I like Mooney right now too. But
I'm off of Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm off of Mitchell too. And Williams is really only going to be relevant as long as Montgomery is injured. So I would say that Moss is my favorite out of those guys. And then Ayuk and Shenault for myself personally. But appreciate the question, man. And I hope you have a good time in the stream tonight. Hope you stick around for a while. Any new faces out there, hope you guys consider subscribing and becoming part of the Catch fam tonight. But nonetheless, we appreciate you guys coming through, throwing some fantasy Q&A our way. All right, let me scroll up a little bit here. Josh Olson, should I trade Stephon and Chubb for Cup and Zeke? I would say
Ooh.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
with Cup coming off of one bad game, get him while he looks bad, man. I think he's gonna. I mean, I love Stephon Diggs and I love Chubb, but I like Cup and Zeke a little bit more right now. Would you agree?
I'd agree, and it's kind of you're almost trading Chubb and Diggs. Like Diggs is definitely like at the bottom, right? You're trading for Cup at the peak, and then with
Sure.
Zeke and Chubb, I think you're kind of getting relatively the same value. But
Sure.
I mean, I kind of like Chubb a little bit more than Zeke there.
Mhm.
But honestly, I just think the fact that you get Cooper Cup and an absolute badass in Zeke Elliott, I just think that's a
Yeah.
sweet lockup right there.
I think it's a good
Um,
trade.
I do too. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
where do you think Cooper Cup ends on the season? If you had to say top 8?
I'm still thinking like top five. The way
Yeah,
he's been playing, man.
he looks insane. He looks like unstoppable at times. It's pretty
He
wild.
does. I mean, I know it was a bad week this past week, but I like where he's at on the season still. Looks like JRXSAS and Chase are both fans of the trade, Josh. So you got some support from the Catch fam as well. Aaron Reborn, do you think I should package Patterson for someone since he had a great game with 30 plus points? In my personal opinion, I would hold on to him, man, until this production slows down. I don't think you're going to get a better waiver wire addition off the year because I doubt that you drafted him. And I would keep rolling with him as a solid flex play or a solid RB2, or in some leagues, you can play him as a running back or receiver, which is so unfair.
Mhm.
But in my personal opinion, I'd hold on to him unless you're really struggling with your roster. I mean, and then I do think uh, he's a player you can trade, but I think the value is pretty good. What do you think, Steven?
So, well, let me ask you this. Let me kind of back this at you. Right? He's like the number two. I think he's the number two RB right now on the
Yeah,
season.
he's like
Rest
top
of
three.
I okay. I like this is that's a little absurd though. Like, I mean,
Sure,
you got to imagine that rest of season he's gonna fall back to like an RB2 or some flex type of like RB3 maybe, right? I would say
sure.
RB2 probably. But if you can put him on a trade block and maybe go after like a guy that you know is going to be a badass, right? One of those like top 14 guys that were identified coming into the season. I think it's worth it, right? Or if you're weaker at wide receiver, go after one of those stud wide receivers, right? Because trading him off of this one is going to be the time to do it if you're going to do it. Because I mean, that game was nuts, dude. Like
It
every
was.
time he touched the ball, it was a touchdown.
He's playing good football, man, and I think
He looks good. He
in
looks good.
terms of consistency, it's there right now. So I think you make a good point that now might be the time to trade him because we don't know when that consistency is going to stop. Um, but it might not stop is the other thing, and
Mhm.
you might have him on your roster if it doesn't stop. So, um, I mean, in half PPR, 21 points in week two, 13 points in week three, and 32 points in yesterday's action. He's
Consistent.
got the Jets this week.
That's a nice
And
matchup right there.
they're the worst team in the league right now against opposing running backs.
Jeez.
The Dolphins are the 30th, and I believe Kansas City's 31st. But um, might be a good time to hold on to them because he's got a bye week. Then he sees the Dolphins in week seven. Then
Yeah.
he's got some tough matchups. The Falcons have a tough stretch: Carolina, New Orleans, Dallas, and New England. Then they get a little bit of a break at Jacksonville, but then Tampa Bay, Carolina after that. But I will say this: in the playoffs, he's got San Francisco and Detroit, which are two really good matchups. Then he
Wow.
ends
Yeah.
with Buffalo, which is a bad matchup. But uh, I think Steven made a good point. If you're going to trade him, now is probably the time. But
It's got to be
personally,
worth a lot, though.
I would say it's got to be worth a lot as well. I
Yeah.
think you want to come out with a stud, Aaron Reborn. Uh, so yeah, I would hold on to him if it was me personally.
Who
But
thought
I'm
Patrick
also,
Patterson? Who thought Cordero Patterson would
I
be
know
better than Dalvin Cook?
it's crazy.
Right? Like what
It's
the
crazy. It's
fantasy
crazy.
football, guys? Fantasy football, ladies and gentlemen.
It's always a good time. LeBron's brain. All right, in my second league, I got an offer of Patterson and Lockett for Chubb. Thoughts? Well, I think it comes back to the same question, right? How consistent do you think Nick Chubb is going to be in comparison to Patterson on the season? And I really
Lockett.
like the way Patterson's playing, and like I said, some good matchups in the next 2 games he'll be playing in. But then a really tough stretch for the Falcons, and I would probably argue that Nick Chubb's going to be more consistent on the season.
Mhm.
So it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, that one is. I
I
mean,
mean,
I
you're giving
basically.
Lockett though.
Yeah, I that's like a situation where if I get Nick Chubb in a trade that I mean, you might not have even drafted Cordell Patterson, and you get now Tyler Lockett and Nick Chubb out of that. You got to look at that coming into the season as an absolute like just it helps your team a ton, and you're
Yeah,
getting depth at two different positions which are critical. Obviously, Lockett's got his consistency issues, but when he's going, he's going.
yeah,
I like that. I like that offer. Obviously, if you can, maybe no, honestly, I'd go for that. I like that deal.
yeah. And I just want to be clear. So Patterson and Lockett for Chubb. Josh Olson says no. Patterson definitely not a 30-point player every week, let alone 20 or maybe even 15. Yeah, it's just we're just gonna have to see. Uh, and now LeBron's brain says, regard my last question. Let's see here. Dare XSAS, you made the call to start Schultz, and he had a good game.
Ooh, that
Yeah,
guy's a beast.
yeah, he had a fantastic game. I'm glad it worked out for you, brother. Yeah, he balled out, man. So trying to catch up in the chat here. But yeah, I'm glad that we made that call for you, man. And I think Steven and I have both owned him in our league this season and both dropped him.
Yeah,
And now I don't know if either of us are going to end up with him.
Bryce the Corona Killer's got him.
Yeah. We got a big Cowboys fan in our league. So, and he's typically pretty high up on the waivers. So Justin Herbert finds Keenan Allen on 3rd and 8. Man, a little bit of a defensive game tonight.
Yeah.
Chase Brown, love my comment is still on the screen. Oh well, I thought I took it down, but if it's up, then
Let's go, Chase.
yeah. Shout out to you, Chase. Let's see. I can never pronounce some of your guys' name right. All right, bro. Should I start Cordell or Pat? I can't say that name either. Should I start Patterson over Chris Carson? Yes, he's playing the Jets.
Yeah.
So right now I would. Carson with that, a little bit of a tweak. It was an ankle injury, and Alex Collins out of nowhere balling out. Right. I would start Patterson over Carson right now if you're asking me.
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely get behind that.
Griffin, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing fantastic tonight. Shout out to all you guys coming out to the stream. Appreciate you guys. Thoughts on Curtis Samuel for the rest of the season? Good question.
Yeah.
I think we're both fans of Curtis Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to be implemented into the offense. But 4 targets yesterday, 4 receptions. I mean, it's a good sign. He caught every reception. Only 19 yards, right? He should continue to see more work with Logan Thomas dealing with a hamstring injury. So, yeah, I like Curtis Samuel in the season, but it might take a couple of weeks to get things going. And relatively tough matchups. Kind of middle of the pack, New Orleans and Kansas City. So, I mean, Kansas City's secondary has been garbage, but they're still overall ranked pretty well defensively. But I like Curtis Samuel, man. I think he's worth holding on to for now.
Mm-hmm.
And Steven agrees.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say I would worry that he's never going to be more than a wide receiver 3 unless he starts getting utilized as plays designed for him, like those gadget plays he would get in Carolina. So just be watching for that, right? If they start involving him in the offense out of the backfield and doing stuff like that, then he's definitely more exciting.
He can definitely be an exciting player overall. All right, let's see here. LeBron's brain. The real question is, should I try to trade Chubb because he got less than half the carries and doesn't get end zone carries? Yeah, he hasn't been really getting too many red zone. I mean, in the first 2 weeks he was. So I wouldn't panic there quite yet. I mean, he's got some tough matchups: Chargers, Arizona, Denver, and Pittsburgh. I mean, looking at that, that'd probably be more of a reason to try and trade him.
Mm-hmm.
But Um, I mean, actually thinking back on it, I'm like, I don't dislike the trade, but I just don't know how consistent Patterson's going to be. He's got a lot of tough matchups coming up.
Yeah,
Uh, okay.
I think if you're trying to shop Nick Chubb, I think you got to be looking for another RB1 though, or if you're weaker at receiver, you got to be looking for a wide receiver one. The guy's just too dominant.
Yeah,
And yeah, maybe he's been a little disappointing to start the season, but you could probably say this Browns offense has been trying to find its, trying to find its identity still. I mean, it is what it is. This guy's an absolute beast still. He rocks through defenders like it's just a walk in the park.
I love Nick Chubb still, so I don't disagree. But I think he's going to turn it back up, man. I mean, he had 3 rushing touchdowns in the first 2 weeks, so I wouldn't lose faith quite yet. If you're asking
Hmm.
me, JR say yes to Griffin. I say Cordell. I have Carson hoping for the best. Yeah, I think Patterson's a good start there too.
Hmm.
Aaron Reborn. So would you say a 1-for-1 trade Patterson for like DeAndre Hopkins would be bad? Because I'll play either one at my flex. I think probably on the season Hopkins will end up being more consistent. But once again, man, it's kind of like Mike Williams, right? People have been asking about benching Mike Williams. He's not had a great performance tonight, but uh, it's just like keep playing these guys until we see their value go down, right? And if Patterson's putting up 15 to 30 points on a weekly basis, then I would keep playing him. But it also makes it the perfect time to trade him and get a really good value out of it. So, would I rather have Hopkins right now or would I rather have Patterson? It's a tough call. Patterson is really the only piece of that Falcons offense doing anything consistently, maybe outside of Ridley. And then the problem with the Cardinals is they have so many offensive weapons that Hopkins isn't necessarily having these giant performances every single week, but we know what he's capable of as well. So it's a tough one to go back and forth on.
Yeah, this Cardinals offense right now is like on pace to have like 4 different receivers with 1,000 yards. Like, and
Yeah,
Kyler Murray's projected to have like over 50 something or 5,000 some yards. I mean, it's pretty nuts. I would definitely lean DeAndre Hopkins here. I mean, at the end of the day, I just think he's going to have a better rest of the season for sure. And you're getting him at the low right now, absolutely too. I mean, because he's been disappointing.
yeah.
There's no running from that anymore. He is looking a little bit more he's starting to look like he's going to lose his target share to those Rondale Moore, Christian Kirk, and AJ Green guys.
And Max Williams, bro.
Yeah, seriously.
And Chase Edmonds, and
Yeah.
I mean, not really James Conner, but to some degree. I mean, the offense is just loaded, and there's so many options. I mean, we've gone over this in the waiver wire video today and a little bit earlier in this stream. It's like the fact that AJ Green has had at least 12 fantasy points the last 3 weeks. Just, I really did not see that coming. I
Mm-mm.
really, really did not see that coming.
He looks like it's back in like 2001, man.
Yeah, it's like crazy. See, I don't think it's the worst trade, but at the same time, you might be giving up a lot of value because this Falcons offense is leaning on Patterson,
Hmm.
where the Cardinals don't need to lean on Hopkins. But he's still DeAndre Hopkins. The way to look at this, right? If this was week 1, you would have never been able to make this trade whatsoever, right?
Hmm.
So I think there is good value there.
Hmm.
JRX SAS, how do you feel about keeping Schultz in the lineup? I think he has some good matchups. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious he's the tight end 1 for the Cowboys. So for me, I think it's fine, man. He's like a top 3 tight end after this week, which is insane.
He
He was
is
already a
really
top
good.
5 tight end before this week. And he's got the Giants, and then he's got a bad matchup versus New England before the bye week. But yeah, I think you can keep him in your lineup, but just be hesitant against some of these lineups, right? I mean, the Giants this week is a great matchup. New England's a bad matchup. Then he's got a bye week, then a decent matchup versus Minnesota, then a tough matchup at Denver, then a pretty good stretch after that. But yeah, I think in terms of flex play, he's not bad,
I Cordero, who knew Cordero was going to be the question of the question of fantasy football this deep in
man. I
in
mean,
the season?
Patterson and Dalton Schultz, he would have thought.
No, I just can't get over this. But yeah, no, Dalton Schultz, I'm pissed off because I dropped him this week.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk
Wow.
about it.
The only week I had him on my league or my team, he had like half a point. And then I dropped him for Cole Kmet anyway, so he also had half a point. So let's see here. Chase Brown, how do you feel about Julio next week if he is back healthy? Let's see. Who do they got next week? They've got Jacksonville. It's a good matchup, that's for
Mhm.
sure. Based on matchup, yeah, I think he's a fine play next week. And based on volume, as long as A.J. Brown is out, I think it's a good play. Although the Titans, a little bit of turmoil down there in Tennessee.
Do
You got
you
any thoughts?
think that either of these guys are going to be ending in the wide receiver one range? Like, is there a chance that AJ Brown gets close to the top 12 again?
I don't know.
Like, even if you were to say rest of season, like just like exclude so far in the season, I think that it's gotten so bad. And I really do think that Julio Jones is going to be the guy. And with that said, too, I mean, if Julio's playing against Jacksonville, they're so banged up. I think if either one of Julio or AJ goes, I think that you got to kind of put him in your lineup as a good chance as a flex play here, but not a wide receiver two either.
Yeah, I think it's a good for this week. I think it's a good start.
Hmm.
Griffin, I've had Samuel on IR since draft. It's a good call, man. I like that. Good call, Griffin. Lee Shakur, how are you doing, brother? Hope you're doing fantastic tonight. Welcome to the catch. Any new faces out there? Hope you guys consider subscribing tonight down below and becoming part of the catch. Bam! But nonetheless, we appreciate you guys coming out and showing support. Should I trade Nick Chubb and Mike Evans for Cooks, AB, Jamal Williams, and Antonio Gibson? I'm in a 10-man PPR league. I have Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Hopkins, and CD.
Mm. Mm.
Wow, that's going to take me a minute to digest as I fix my mic here.
Yeah,
Nick Chubb and Mike Evans for those four guys.
I
I think
think
it's a good trade.
Yeah, I do too. I think you're
In
getting a
your
ton of
favor.
value. I think you're getting a ton of value here. I mean, Mike Evans has been pretty disappointing. Cooks had some hard matchups with New England coming up, and obviously playing against the Bills. That was pretty tough too. But Jamal Williams, I'm guessing the week until DeAndre Swift goes down with an injury, and Jamal Williams takes over. And I think when he does, he's going to be an absolute beast. He's the best handcuff you can have in football right now. And Antonio Gibson, man, he's
I still
frustrating.
believe in him.
He's frustrating, but he is really good, and he's getting more red zone touches. I think he's been nursing an injury that he's getting healthier from every single week, and eventually he's going to be fully unleashed in this offense. And when he does, you want to have a holding of him because the guy's been absolutely the most efficient running back since entering the league with limited touches.
You already have Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Hopkins, and CD. I think it's a good trade, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a lot of value, right? And I think we both still like Nick Chubb, like we just went over. And Evans is always going to give you a high ceiling on a weekly basis as Mike Williams picks up a first down for the Chargers. But yeah, if you're asking me, man,
That was a nice catch.
I think it's a good trade. I think Steven agrees as well. Right, LeBron's brain, give me wide receiver ones or running back ones to target. And let's see,
Mm.
because so much of this season surprises that will not necessarily last. Yeah, don't disagree with that. Let's see here. You got any thoughts on wide receiver ones or running backs to target? I think DeAndre Swift's a good RB1 to be targeting right now.
Yeah, I mean, we play in a 12 team league, and two guys that I can tell you that I'm looking at receiver position, Devontae Smith with the Philadelphia Eagles, who just has kind of the stranglehold on that target percentage from Jalen Hurts, and
He
this
might be
Eagles
on the waiver
offense.
wire.
Yeah, he's on the waiver wire in our league, and I think he'll probably be on the waiver wires for a lot of people. But
Yeah.
the Eagles are typically going to be in some high scoring games, and so you want a piece of that offense when you can get it. And they don't seem to run the ball very often, right? They pass it like every play. So Devontae Smith has a ton of opportunities and still hasn't scored a touchdown, I don't believe. So ton of positive touchdown regression there. And another guy, I want to get your thoughts on him too, but Kenny Galladay. He's looking like he's finally getting a rhythm with Daniel Jones. Obviously, he just blew up this week, but I think he's a good play rest this season.
I'd be hesitant. Are you going to
Hesitant.
Are you going over waiver targets?
Yeah, just some waiver wire targets. I mean, these guys are in
I
your
think I
50s,
think
60s.
LeBron's needed targets for his trade.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
But good call, Steven. We talked about both those guys in the waiver
Yeah,
wire stream
yeah,
today.
these guys are good.
Listen, I touching on your point very quickly. I think when Shepard and Slayton comes back, we're going to see some regression from Galladay. So I think it's a fine play until
Mhm.
then. But that's where I stand with that one. Um, so yeah, now we'll go over target trades for these LeBron's brain. I still think Swift is in a position at RB1 to trade for. Sounds crazy, but Aaron Jones might be someone you can target as well.
Mhm.
I mean, he's played well in week 3 and week 4, but hasn't really gone off since week 2. So those would be two guys, and I mean, really James Robinson as well. Some owners are trying to sell Robinson high right now, being that he's balled out the last 2 weeks. So I like those guys right now, and also fantasy owners are trying to trade Saquon Barkley high right now as well.
Mhm.
And I would try and take advantage of those guys. You have any thoughts on receivers, Steven?
I think one guy that you could still potentially get, you'd probably have to give up a decent amount, but is Stephon Diggs. He still
Yeah.
hasn't had one of those monster games yet. Obviously, coming into this week, he was 28th in our league. And I see Stephon Diggs. He's just going to continue to get better and better. And him and Josh Allen are eventually going to start connecting for touchdowns.
I like potentially targeting DK Metcalf as well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I need a touchdown grab by Jared Cook here.
Oh my gosh, dude. When is Eckler going to do something?
JRX SAS. I traded Connor after week 2, and he's been going off. Yeah, how did we miss the mark on that one, guys? James Connor is like eating, bro.
He's a beast in right now.
Yeah, like he could have 1 to 2 scores every single game. And this was a guy when I first started doing mock drafts for the year, I was really targeting, and then I just kind of I got off of it. I mean, he's had 2 touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. Like he's been going crazy. So it's tough break, JRX SAS.
Well,
Dry Ocean. I received a trade of Jamar Chase and Crowder for DK and Sutton. Should I accept full PPR? I would be getting the DK side, by the way. Wait, so you're getting DK and Sutton and trading Jamar and Chase and Crowder. I don't hate the trade.
I like the trade.
I mean, I still think Crowder is actually going to be pretty relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Jamar Chase on the season as well, but I see a little bit more upside in DK and Sutton.
I'd also rather have pieces of the Seahawks and Broncos offense than the Bengals and the Jets.
I think we're going to see some regression for some of these Broncos players with Teddy B being down as long as he's concussed. But
there's your guy.
What'd he do?
He just scored a touchdown.
Jared Cook did?
Yeah.
You're kidding me, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like a play behind. I'm watching now. Oh, let's go. Good catch. Don't review it. He caught it.
Oh, Austin Eckler could have scored underneath him too.
Let's go. Catch fam. I only need one. I need 1.5 points out of Jared Cook the rest of this game.
I don't want to jinx you. I was going to say something, but I don't want to jinx you. You never know with tight ends. I was going to say you're definitely going to win, but you just never know with tight ends.
Jared Cook, kidding me? Woo, might be getting a catch win. Win for the catch fam.
You might be catching that dub this week.
Yeah, I need one. This 20-man league. I really wanted to win last week against that guy. He tried to screw me, picking up Jacoby Brissett and told me that I was forced to do a trade with him.
That's such a power move. I totally support that strategy in fantasy football, especially like getting close to the end of the season near the playoffs. Just
I
ruining your opponent.
It, I respect it, but I really wanted to beat that guy. And if I hadn't dropped Brandon McManus for Graham Gano, I would have beaten him.
Oh my gosh!
And then the week before, I only lost by a point due to Aaron Jones, which I can't really blame Aaron Jones. He's still like 45 points, but I've been very close in that league all year long. A little
That
bit
was a
better than
devastating
our
loss.
league.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, Dried Ocean. I think it's a good trade.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that Chase and Crowder are going to be relevant as well. If you don't have conviction in the trade, I don't think it's going to be bad.
It's a fair
Either way.
trade. It's a
Yeah,
fair
it
trade.
is a fair trade for sure.
Mhm.
Chase Brown, thoughts on Amari? Rest of season report came out today. He's been battling injuries. Should I attempt to trade him away or keep? In my opinion, Amari Cooper is one of these players that always has a high ceiling, but always has a low floor. And I've owned Amari Cooper like the last 2 years, not this current
Yeah.
year, but I like always end up with Amari Cooper, and he's always a little bit banged up too. He's kind of similar to Mike Evans. I really think that they, from a fantasy perspective, they're pretty similar. So, um, yeah, why not trade him? If you can get a good enough value out of him, I don't think it's a bad idea. What do you think, Steven?
Yeah, I mean, coming into this week, I would have said I kind of like to have him rest of the season, but when you really start mulling over all the injuries that this guy's already has this season, combined with the fact that he's like injured every year of his career, I just think get out while you can because you can get out at peak value, especially after he played well. So I would trade him, and I would try to trade at peak and try to go after where you're weak on your team. Get consistency because in fantasy, consistency wins, not these guys that go 40 points and 0 points week over week.
I'm so happy that Jared Cook scored a touchdown. That's such a good move. Yeah, I mean, he had a good performance against Carolina. A receiving touchdown, 3 receptions, 69 receiving yards. Went absolutely crazy in week 1. But then you look at the
Mhm.
2 weeks in between on full PPR, he was right around 5 points. So it's a good matchup against the Giants this coming week. But the injuries are definitely a concern.
Mhm.
Um, he's got a bad matchup versus New England. Bye week, good matchup versus Minnesota, then a bad matchup versus the Denver Broncos. So I do think he might be relevant come fantasy playoff time, as he's basically facing Washington twice and the New York Giants. So that might be one thing to think about. But outside of that, yeah, I think it's a good time to trade
Or
Amari
he'll be on
Cooper.
the sideline with an injury. And
Sure,
they're saying
sure,
the ailments that he already has right now.
sure. Yeah. So he's definitely gonna be battling injuries. That's a pretty consistent thing for Mr. Cooper. So I
Dude,
think it's bad.
Gruden is the man. I love Gruden so much. He makes football better.
I'm actually happy that the Raiders are winning because
Same here.
he's much more fun. I mean, just in general, they're obviously not winning tonight, but he's much funner to watch when they're winning because when they're losing and then you start to watch him, you're just like, gosh. What about
Champions.
is Bill Belichick's son's first name Steven? Is it
Oh
Steven
yeah, baby,
Belichick?
Steve. Yeah, he is
Yeah,
making an appearance in the defensive video of
he's
the
like
week.
oh good. He's like
Yeah.
he looks like a John Gruden Jr. Like if John Gruden and
Oh
Bill
yeah.
Belichick had a baby and
That
forced it
is their baby.
have a mullet. Yeah. Gosh, man, on the sideline. If you guys didn't see that from last night, you guys got to see the replays of Bill Belichick's son coaching on the sideline last night.
I've got
Uh,
I definitely have some photos and I take some time out to go over the tongue shots of Steve
good,
Belichick on the
good.
sideline for sure.
We'll have Steven's defensive starts of the week up probably by tomorrow morning. Yeah, definitely up by tomorrow morning. So you guys make sure to peep that and check out Steve Belichick's licking his lips. Okay. JRXSAS, would you ever consider doing a league with fans? Absolutely.
Oh, good
100%.
question. Good question.
Yeah, I think moving into next year, we will definitely get that set up. Um, Actually, I can tell you for sure I'll get that set up.
Mhm.
So I don't know how small or how big it'll be, how we'll kind of figure out the logistics of everything. Luckily, we got some time to do that. But absolutely, man. And you
Mhm.
will be first on the list. I guarantee you a spot for asking the question. So just know that Steven is not very good at fantasy. So
Yeah, yeah.
be
What's your record again, John, in our leag, huh? Actually, it's the same as mine, so I can't talk too much.
we're both not very good at fantasy. We're just good at talking fantasy and giving
Yeah,
advice. But if you guys beat us, then actually, dude, that's gonna be so much fun.
I'm pumped
Uh,
for that. Great
yeah,
question, dude. That was
I'm
like the
gonna
question
put
of the
together
night.
some really fun like prizes and everything. Man, it's gonna be a good time. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. So no,
Yeah.
good question.
Some good things to
JRXSAS.
embarrass me and John whenever one of us makes a mistake. We'll definitely
Yeah,
do some celebrations or some dunk contests.
yeah, I'll shave my head, but it's
Oh, I will. I'll
yeah,
shave my locks.
I will grow a mustache. So yeah, looking forward to that, man. Good question. Appreciate that. JRXSAS. The Bronze Brain. What do you think of Chubb and Boyd for Lockett and Eckler? This
Oof.
is in my league where I have 13 average receivers. That's right, your drunk trade. Um, let's see, Chubb and Boyd for Lockett. You're getting Lockett and Eckler. I think it's a good trade.
Hmm.
I think it's a better value at receiver with Lockett over Boyd, and I think it's
Eckler's
pretty.
Eckler's doing very good right now in the season. Hopefully, he picks his game up this week. But
Uh, I mean, as long as he doesn't get hurt, yeah. But I mean, Chubb has gotten hurt basically just as much as Eckler has
mhm.
to some degree. So I think it's a good trade. Yeah,
Yeah,
LeBron's brain. I think it's a good trade.
getting Eckler is like getting a wide receiver and a running back in one player, which is what's so awesome about him. I mean, if you're in
Yeah,
standard league, it's like maybe he doesn't have the greatest value, but if you're in half PPR, PPR, I mean, he's just an absolute stud for your fantasy leagues if he's healthy. Guy always seems to get nicked up.
I agree. I've been trying really hard whenever I grab my water not to hit this mic, and every time I do it, I hit the mic. Anyways, yeah, I think it's a good trade, LeBron's brain. I truly do. Let's see here. Chase Brown. Who should I flex next week? Boyd, Julio, or Beasley?
Ooh,
Beasley's got a good matchup if I remember correctly. Let's see.
Chiefs,
I think
Chiefs.
Julio. Yeah, gosh, it's gonna be a fun game. Uh,
Hmm.
I think Julio is a good start, being that he's more than likely going to be the wide receiver one next week. Starting Keenan Allen and Deontay is my wide receiver one and wide receiver two already. So this is your flex play. I like Julio and Beasley more than Boyd right now.
Boyd's been so good on the season so far. These past 3 games, he's been locked and loaded in your lineup. Honestly, 10 points,
I'm just
11 points.
afraid if T Higgins comes back. I mean,
Yeah, you
it's
definitely have to monitor that.
that's what I'm afraid of. But if he doesn't, then yeah, I think Boyd's still a good play. Um, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I would probably go Julio, Boyd, Beasley, just because it seems the Bills have so many options of
That's true.
scoring,
Yeah,
and now they're incorporating Dawson Knox at the tight end position more. It's just you got a smaller percentage chance of it hitting, and Beasley's not going deep and making big plays.
dude, I'm so hyped that Dawson Knox is like the man now.
I'm not. He picks the 1 week to go against me
Yeah,
to pop off, dude.
I
Dawson
forgot.
Knox.
I forgot he was against you this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
I would. I would agree with that, Chase Brown. I mean, the thing is, Beasley might have a big game, but you don't want to rely on a PPR value getting you a big game where Boyd and Julio are more than likely to get in the end zone.
Hmm.
So I agree with Steven there, actually. JRXSAS, I heard about Steven's failed football career on one of the earlier videos. Well,
Yes, yes.
to be fair, we both had failed football careers. So Steven had a better football career than me, though, I would say.
Oh
Um,
man, pretty pathetic. Pretty pathetic. But yeah, man, they when I did my brief stint at becoming trying to become a little kicker, that did not work out, man. So I have a little bit of appreciation for these guys like Rodrigo Blankenship, man. These guys they've got some muscle to their legs.
I was watching that video. It was like an interview with Rodrigo Blankenship, and he's like obsessed with Legos. Um, he's got like a massive collection of Legos, which I think is awesome. So yeah, shout out Rodrigo and shout out to Stevens.
The goggles.
The goggles are for real, man. Chase Brown also offered Amari for Swift. I think it's a good trade. I think it's a good trade, man. If you're getting DeAndre Swift in place of Amari Cooper, yeah, I think it's a good trade. I think Steven would probably agree there.
Definitely, yeah. I would love. I mean, I was just gassing up Jamal Williams, but I mean, DeAndre Swift. Like, actually looking at him run the ball, he looks like the most explosive running back in football. Like, when he makes cuts, it's like everybody else is moving in slow motion. It's kind of like watching Lamar Jackson make cuts on people. He's so much fun to watch. Like, this guy is so good. it's a shame he's in Detroit, but I also like it because Detroit's like the team I root for more than anybody. I actually lost like a lot of money this week in betting because I was just like, "Go Detroit, you're not gonna lose."
I
Yeah,
actually
they
thought
lost.
Detroit was going to win that game, to
So
be
did
honest with
I. Yeah, so did I.
you. The way the Bears played the week before, I thought Detroit was going to win that game.
Yeah.
But credit to the Bears, they put together a decent game plan. But have you already seen this? That Matt Nagy has come out and said that Andy Dalton's the starter whenever he's
Of
healthy.
course, dude, because Matt Nagy's the best coach ever of all time. I mean, dude, he's way better than Bill Walsh and Bill Belichick. I mean, come on
I
now.
uh, I
Andy,
don't think the fans are gonna like that too much, man.
I think he's gonna get like picked up off the field and carried out of the stadium. They're just
I
gonna
can
be
see it.
like, "You're no longer the coach, dude.
I can
Like,
see
get
it.
out."
I
He's
could definitely
awful.
see it, man. And whenever I think about the Bears right now, all I can think about is David Montgomery's hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not good. Makes me sad. All my players are hurt.
While we're talking about the Bears, though, real quick, have you heard any this running back, wh- Khalil Herbert, this rookie running back, man?
Yeah,
Definitely, I think could have more juice rest this season if he does get the chance, just because they invested some capital into him. And I remember back in preseason, I mean, this was a guy. I mean, I don't know how many more days Matt Nagy's going to be the head coach, but Matt Nagy really liked Khalil Herbert. So I think a lot of people are obviously on Williams, but I tell you this, in my waivers, I'm also keeping an eye on Khalil Herbert after this week to see how those carries get split up because I don't think Williams is just going to single handedly take over this Montgomery role. I think it's going to be a little interesting to see how that plays out.
he had 3 rushes
Yeah,
for
already.
70 yards.
Yeah, the only thing is I think Williams is going to get the passing down work, which is a little sketchy.
I like Williams right now, but it's a good
Yeah, I do
point.
too.
Yeah, um, good investigative work there, Steven.
Yeah, got to get
Right,
on my little what's that Detective Ness or whatever?
Detective Ness.
Isn't it? It's the Super Smash Bros. Character.
Oh, oh, from
Yeah,
oh gosh, what is that game called? We're
we
looking
got
it
some
up.
We got some gaming fans in the chat, I'm sure, right now. If you guys know who we're talking about, throw it in there. I swear,
It's
I always
Earthbound.
play with this guy.
It's Earthbound. I fuck with Ness. Ness is my guy.
Yeah, and this is the
He's
dude.
fresh. Earthbound is a great game. I just couldn't remember the name of it. Shout out to I don't think anyone's ever called him Detective Ness before, but
First for everything.
first time for everything. JRX I picked up the Patriots defense because I like the matchup against the Texans. It's a great stream for the week, I would say. I pulled a sneaky move in mine and Stevens league since I could technically pick up the Patriots defense before they played last night. I went ahead and did that and dropped a pointless receiver I picked up, being Nick Westbrook of the Tennessee Titans. And yeah, I really like this matchup for the upcoming week. And the Patriots need a dub, or I think maybe not Bill Belichick, but Steve Belichick's going to kill
You
someone.
need something. But
Yeah,
no, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but they are the first defense I talk about in my defensive video that'll be dropped tomorrow. So
Jared Cook just caught a pass. Sorry,
yeah, I
Steve.
saw that. But no, yeah. So that defense, that was a great pickup, my guy. Way to go ahead and get it, because they're gonna ball out against Davis Mills, unfortunately, because I like that kid.
Oh my gosh, I'm down 0.005. So I'm still not done on the night. Okay, let's see here. C Friend the Man One, what's going on, brother? Good to have you in the chat, man. Happy to have you in the stream as always, man. Debo or Diggs, rest of season PPR. Whew. That's tough. That's tough. I tempted to say Debo the way he's been playing,
Hmm.
but it's really hard to bet against Stephon Diggs.
I'm going Diggs here.
Yeah, I would too. More so based on the consistency of the offense is where I would stand. I'll let you get your input here.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, when you actually do look at Diggs's numbers too on the season, it's not like this guy's been bad. 11.4, 14, 9.2, 14.9, and half PPR each. I mean, those are really good weeks given the fact that the guy has only found the touchdown once, right? I mean, and this Bills offense, while it's definitely now hit its rhythm, like they look really good, I think that there's a higher ceiling. I mean, I don't think you would even disagree with that. Like, Josh Allen is still not totally tapped, and I think they're
Sure.
going to connect. Him and Diggs, I think, are going to have a great rest of the season. The problem with Debo, man, like we already talked about it, injuries have always been a thing with him, just like Amari Cooper. But also, just like I am very hesitant to rely on a guy in a Kyle Shanahan offense. I mean,
I don't disagree with that point,
he's my
man.
most hated person in fantasy football. Like I hate Kyle Shanahan for fantasy football.
He's
He
worse than
ruins it.
Belichick, man.
Yeah, he ruins it. Come on, Austin.
Uh,
Come on, Austin. Yes.
I, I'm like a play behind. I'm assuming Austin Eckler scored though. Does that get you? How close are you now to
I
winning?
just won. I just won.
Oh, you won.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, is that a great catch too?
Dude, Ben's been talking so he's like he's doing his thing. He's like, dude, congrats, bro, on your win, dude. Like, and I'm just he was saying that like on the first point Austin Eckler scored, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, get over yourself!"
To be fair,
Now,
you do the same thing, man.
yeah, no,
You were like last year when we played each other in the playoffs, like for a week straight. I couldn't even talk to you because you were like, "You're gonna win, dude." Like I don't even know why I played this year. Like, oh gosh.
that's the
Uh,
classic, dude. You got to do it in your fantasy leagues, man.
I tried to do it against your mom 2 weeks ago, and it didn't work for me. So it doesn't work. Nothing works for me, man.
So
Let's see
cursing
here.
players that works for you.
Yeah, every player I draft has been injured, so that works for me. See, Fran, man, it's a tough question, but I think based on the offenses, I think we would both say Diggs.
Mhm.
But Devo's been damn good, man. Like,
Yeah,
damn good. So,
very
Pace Brown, I think AJ is projected to come back this week. Oh, it's our bad. Then in that case, I would rank Julio last.
yeah.
I I think we went into this season really liking Julio Jones. I think we've kind of shifted positions, but I think it's really based on Julio. I think it's based on the Titans offense as a whole. This Titans team is a little sketchy outside of Derrick Henry.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I think the Colts surprisingly somehow still have a shot. Even the Texans too, for crying out loud. But
Yeah,
um, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I think Julio definitely we have to downgrade him from where we originally had him, which was in the top 24, like for sure. But um, I kind of still think Julio might end up becoming the PPR guy, and AJ Brown is just like very touchdown dependent. So I don't know. If both those guys are healthy, I'm still kind of leaning Julio potentially. But
sure.
yeah, this offense is sketch, man. Outside of Derrick Henry, I mean, Ryan Tannehill's the guy who I've been the most disappointed in. I feel terrible
Same.
for him because I think a lot of people got him and expected to have like a top 8, top 10 quarterback. So definitely some
Yeah,
disappointment.
looking back on one of the early videos I did for the channel was Ryan Tannehill versus um, Matthew Stafford, who to draft. And I was all about Tannehill. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should just delete that video, man.
Yeah, just get it
Uh,
get it off the history.
let's see here. Aaron Reborn, none of them are really going off, not to jinx anything. Yeah, it's been kind of a slow moving game, but as I see you now saying as soon as I say it, yeah. Uh, Eckler's playing. What's going on with the Raiders tonight?
Yeah, this is bad.
I chose the Chargers to win this game just based on home field advantage, and it looks real right now. See what happens in the second half.
They were
JR actually
3-point
say,
favorites.
really?
The Chargers were, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. How do you feel about Lamar's performance? Is it time to consider another option? It's a good question. I mean, I've got Lamar, the minus Stevens 12-man league. I would say if there are other options at the quarterback position when Lamar has these tough matchups. I should have benched him this past week, and my gut was telling me to. My gut was telling me pick up Sam Darnold and start him, and I picked up Sam Darnold, and then I dropped him for no reason. I did not start him, and listen, it's a bad. He had a bad matchup, right? We knew it was a bad matchup. It shouldn't have been such a bad performance against Detroit. That was an awful game script. I don't know what happened in that game. Good matchup overall against Kansas City, but in week one, I mean, this Raiders defense is okay, although they look bad tonight. They're obviously better at home. But it is tough to evaluate. I mean, he's got the Colts this coming week, and he needs to play well. because after that he's got the Chargers and Cincinnati, who have played very well against opposing quarterbacks. And then really looking at the numbers right now for the rest of the season, it's very middle of the pack teams. Minnesota, Miami, Chicago, Cleveland twice, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Cincinnati, LA, Pittsburgh. It's pretty tough matchups for
Mhm.
Lamar. So,
I mean,
Danny Dimes, Taylor Heineke might be out there, Sam Darnold. We might
well,
have to have some weeks where we consider other options coming from a Lamar owner.
I drafted him for my girlfriend's team, and he's been super disappointing for her. And that's the like only player she knows, and she's just like, "I hate Lamar, I hate Lamar." But and I think that's how a lot of fantasy owners probably feel right now. I mean, he's been really disappointing, and the one thing about the Colts D line is they're built at super athletically on the edges to chase down quarterbacks, and very like they've got just a motor to them. They don't give up. So I'm
Yeah,
not really expecting him to like blow up against Indianapolis either. That secondary, they do pretty good as like keeping contained these kind of quarterbacks as well. So, yeah, man, it's pretty sketch because then you got the Chargers and we're seeing how dominant they look on defense. I don't know, man. I would be trying to trade at name value right now if I could.
yeah, yeah.
Sucks for
Lamar,
you, dude.
it does suck. Lamar has been rough this year, like very rough. And I went out early in the draft and targeted a quarterback because I was saying every year I wait to draft a quarterback, and I think that's what's keeping me from winning a championship. And I feel like I made a grave mistake uh, with that. Looking at guys like Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. I mean, Kirk Cousins had a bad week yesterday, bad game yesterday, and Derek Carr's not doing anything. But Danny Dimes is averaging like 24 fantasy points a game.
Yeah, what the
Um,
hell?
I wish I had targeted Jalen Hurts as a guy I wish I
Hmm.
targeted. But what are you going to do? JRX SAS, how often are the Titans throwing the ball? That's a good question. Let me see if I can't pull up stats here.
The Texans are, man, they are an interesting team.
Let's see. Ryan Tannehill. Well, it looks like he typed Texans but meant to say Titans. The Texans are an interesting team. I don't disagree with that. All right. I think I've got.
Yeah, that's a much more interesting question about the Titans. I was like, how often are the Houston Texans
Okay.
throwing the
I got it pulled up. Week 1, Ryan Tannehill threw 35 passes. Week 2, 40 passes. Week 3, 27 passes. And week 4, 49 passes. So overall, they're throwing the ball quite a bit. Outside of week 3 against the Colts,
ball? Hmm.
because the Colts suck and they didn't need to. But um,
Can't disagree.
yeah, they're throwing the ball all right, man. Let's see here. Aaron Reborn. Oh, you needed Mike Williams to go off. That's right. I'm sorry, not Eckler. My bad. Still a lot of time. Jane Scott, what's up, homie? Hope you're doing fantastic tonight. Good to see you in the chat. Shout out to Steven's mom.
What's up, Mom? How you doing? Meatloaf, Mom. Where's the meatloaf?
Agree about Williams. What's going on? Yeah, what is going on with Mike Williams tonight? Someone who I told a lot of you guys be confident in starting tonight.
Hmm.
Slowing down the pace seems like, but there's a lot of time left in this game, guys. A lot of time. You know, who's not slowing down is Jared Cook and Austin Eckler, baby.
Yeah,
Steven
Mike.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a good week for us, brother.
I
You're
don't know.
really.
I'm still losing, and if I lose this matchup by, it's 0.05 points, right? Yeah, no, 0.5 points. Okay, if
Really, he's got to get a catch.
not half a point, 0.005. It's 100.90 versus 100.95. So knowing me, I will lose this game. Jared Cook will get injured in the next play that happens in tonight's game. So
I think Mike Williams still has a good chance to
yeah.
do more the second half. I mean, obviously, this guy's got more big play upside than any other receiver in the league. He's right up there with the best of them. So I think there's a ton of opportunity for him to put up a decent stat line. But that's the problem also with these guys like Mike Williams is these guys you drafted like end of your drafts, and then they start blowing up week to week, kind of like a Cordero Patterson, right? And then they have a week like this, and you're like, shit, should I have gotten out earlier? What do I do? Can I bank on these guys? So don't be spooked. But yeah, he's been a little disappointing so far.
Yeah. Predictions here. The Raiders come out and start to play some actual football tonight and
They
make it a
better
tight game. And then the Chargers have to stay competitive, and Mike Williams has a good game.
for sure.
That's my prediction. We'll see what happens. JRX SAS. I know Stephen was high on Young Q, but I had to bench him this week. That was a good call. He didn't
Yeah.
actually play well.
No.
I mean, but all the logistics, all the stats were there, right? Good through the first 3 weeks, and the Washington football team has been the most earnable team overall to kickers. So it was a strange outing.
Young Waku was a little disappointing. I appreciate that. Yeah, you made the right decision there. I hyped him up pretty good. I basically gave him his own, rap track. That much hype I gave him. But yeah, Young Waku, honestly, he has now posted like 5 to 6 points in fantasy per week. Uh, good call.
Who's a good pickup is Matt Prater, available in a lot of leagues. Not to steal your steam, Mister Kicker guy over there, but
yeah.
The Cardinals are putting up a lot of points, and he's available in a lot of leagues right now. I went out and re-added Brandon McManus in my 20-man league after I lost due to dropping him for Graham Gano, and he had 1 point this past week. So that was not fun.
See, kickers are so hard because kickers have they have an amazing nightlife. They're always getting invites to the biggest clubs in the city. You got guys like the biggest rappers, the biggest rock stars are always like, "Where's my Daniel Carlson? Where's my, McManus? I need Young Waku here." So give them a break, guys. If they mess up your fantasy team, they're tired from drinking at the clubs.
Fair evaluation. Fair evaluation. Jane Scott says, "LOL." Jane, did you win your fantasy matchup this week? I haven't checked, so let us know if you got a win this week. Interested to know. Aladdin Hamad, why is Waller playing ass? That's a good question.
Raiders
man, hope you're doing fantastic. Good to see you in the stream tonight. Hope you're having a great night, man. Hope you stick around and enjoy the stream for a little bit. But yeah, I think Steven just said the Raiders are just playing bad right now. Chargers are playing good defense. So he is one of those players that we expect like 20 targets out of every game. But
2 targets so far in the night.
Yeah.
He was, I believe, his over/under on catches for the game was like 5.5. So I definitely think he's going to come out in the second half and play a lot better. So keep your hopes up, brother, because I think this is going to be a better second half.
I do too. I think the Raiders are going to come out and actually
the Chargers are going to eventually soften up into a prevent type of defense, and that's when Waller's just going to start eating for all those pointless catches too, which just helps your fantasy team.
Yeah. Don't lose faith yet. There's still 2 quarters left, so we'll see what happens, man. Matthew Kendall, hope you are doing fantastic tonight. Great to have you in the stream. I have a 5-point lead with Herbert and Allen against Waller. I just hope they don't go conservative and Waller beat me in garbage time. Thank you. Thank you, brother, for coming out to the stream, man.
Literally just said he's going to do that. I feel terrible.
We just said the exact opposite thing, man.
These guys are rivals right here, Aladdin and Matthew.
I think the difference there is Waller can still come out and play well in the second half, but you still have Herbert and Allen to give you that cushion. So I wouldn't be too worried even if Waller does come out and have a good second half and everything, because you at least have the cushion, right? If you didn't have Herbert and Allen, then I'd be concerned. But I think he'll be good, man, for sure.
I got my fingers crossed that Herbert, Allen, and Waller all have great games, and Mike Williams too. I know we got some Mike Williams owners out there.
And Jared Cook has 1 more catch. It does not get weird.
Honestly, yeah, I also hope that.
Okay, thank you.
That would be devastating for you to have that Aaron Jones experience and this one. That's just, I don't wish that on anyone.
I certainly don't as well. Brad Montgomery, Eckler is such a beast in half PPR and full. Should I trade Patterson and A-Rob or something for him? I don't think that's that bad of a trade. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
Eckler, I think, is going to have his best season in his career. I was super high on him in the offseason. I really took a flyer on him in the draft, and it just kind of worked out because this Chargers offense is probably also going to be the most efficient we've seen in some time. Literally, he could become like a top. He already is a top 5 running back. Currently at number 5, he could go up even higher too. If this guy stays healthy, he's a top 3 kind of back, and if you can get him with a package of Patterson, I like that deal for sure.
yeah. I mean, we talked about this a little bit earlier. It's a good time to trade Patterson if you don't think he's going to be consistent on the season.
Mhm.
But me
I think I'm a
personally, I keep riding that wave, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm lower on Patterson than you are, but I think we both agree that Patterson's like definitely a good player.
And I think to touch on that, and I think you meant to say Eckler's a good player, not
No,
Patterson.
no, no, no. Eckler's a good player, but I'm lower on Patterson, but I still think he's a really good player, and it is hard to trade him. So I do understand why people are conflicted there.
Okay, okay. I feel you now.
Yeah,
I would definitely say that A-Rob is worth shipping at this point, in my personal opinion.
he's gross. He's
He's on
so
your team, right?
gross. Yeah, he's so gross, dude. I, I can't even. I don't even think anybody would trade for him. Honestly,
I think
he's
maybe as part of a package deal, being that he is technically a wide receiver one,
I
in a
drafted him.
package deal.
He's a 3rd round player in your drafts.
Yeah, yeah,
So disappointing. And this Bears offense, what you're really banking on with a guy like A Rob is like Justin Fields just totally opens up the offense and it becomes so much better. But like, I don't think it is going to do that. And now Andy Dalton's the starter again. So, like,
sure.
do we really want that? Like, I don't know. And Mooney looks like he has a better rapport with Justin Fields everywhere. Yeah.
Mooney.
To the moon.
Jane Scott. Looks like I am. Yeah, I just looked at your matchup, and you don't even need Mike Williams to do anything tonight. You've already won. But I did not realize, Steven, that your dad is number 1 in our league.
Yes, dude.
But he's getting the L tonight.
Well,
So,
because he doesn't have Gronk this week.
yeah, Gronk has been carrying his team, man.
Mm-hmm.
So,
He's McKissick.
uh, man, if I had held off and actually gotten a win this week against Patrick, Patrick's going to be the only undefeated team.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about somebody real quick that's on my dad's team that I think really needs to be discussed?
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley. This is a guy who I included in my must-start receivers going into week 4, and he had 11 points. So I mean, not like god awful, but this Falcons offense looks bad. It looks like they're starting to get on track a little bit. Matt Ryan obviously had a big game against Washington, but what are your thoughts on Calvin rest of the season? Because, I mean, it's Cordero Patterson or it's nobody on this offense right now.
It's a tough matchup this week against the Jets. Then
Yeah.
they get a bye week. Listen, remember, man, beginning of the season, preseason, off season, when we started the channel,
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty low on Ridley as a
You
whole.
were? You were?
I'm sticking by it.
I was high. He was, I think, wasn't he like my 3rd? I
He
had
a
him
hella high.
really high. I had him really high.
Yeah. I mean, I still think on a consistency basis, his floor is probably like 8 to 10 points, like in a bad week, and his ceiling is like 15 to 20 points. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's a bad receiver by any means. And I certainly still think due to volume, he'll finish as a top 15 receiver. But I just don't think that his ceiling is crazy high like some of these other number 1 receivers that you see.
Not anymore.
So I'm still sticking by that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't dislike him. I think you can start him just due to volume alone.
Next year, we need to do some bets similar to kind of like how we need to like have some celebrations or some ways to taunt each other on our bets because we definitely were pretty sticky on that. I was super Calvin Ridley favor and you were super against Calvin Ridley, and it looks like you're gonna win that one. So
well, I mean, he's had at least 8 targets a game.
Yeah.
He's really the receiver position is, gosh, Josh Jacobs just got drilled.
dude,
But-
he looks really bad right now.
Yeah, he's having a rough night. But and I mean, hey, going back to preseason bets, I mean,
Yeah,
That was my
that was a
one of my
bad
guys.
bet.
One of my guys. But listen, the receiver position is so saturated that I mean, in
Oh,
half
hard.
PPR, he's ranked as like receiver 30, and that's really not that bad in the grand scheme of things. So I'm like a play behind you, so I don't know what you're reacting to. But yeah, I mean, being receiver number 30 is not actually that bad overall. Okay, now I'm seeing. Yeah, what is Derek Carr doing? Wow, good play.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude.
yeah. So I don't hate Calvin Ridley. I just don't. I'm not in love with him. You know. So that's where I'm at.
Mhm.
JRX SAS. So should I trade for Williams while he's low, or am I late to the party? I'm assuming
Mike Williams, probably.
Mike Williams, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Not Jamal Williams. Let us know, JRX, Mike or Jamal. Real goaded. What is up, brother? Happy to have you in the chat, man. Loyal member to the Catch
What's
fam.
up, Rio? How
Hey,
you doing, my
Catch
man?
and Steven. Hey,
What
Real
is
goaded.
up?
Happy to have you here, brother. Happy to, appreciate you always showing support, my guy. Matthew Kendall. Oh, thanks, guys. It's funny. Love your channel. Appreciate the kind words, man. Sorry we were rooting for Waller right before you told us you needed Waller to not do well. But
I
even
got
if Waller
Herbert early
has,
on.
yeah, I mean, even if Waller has a good second half, I think you'll still be all right due to having Allen and Herbert as well. Jason Kenobi, what's up, brother? Good to see you tonight, man. Happy to have you in the stream as always. Another loyal member to the Catch Fam Sporting. My guy Obi-Wan Kenobi in the avatar. Always got to give you a shout out when I can, man. Well, I think I won this week. Let's go. Let's go, Jason. Shout out to Jason with the dub. Love seeing Catch Fam members getting the dub. Steven just got his win with that Austin Eckler touchdown not too long ago. And I've got a good shot to have a win. I just need Jared Cook to catch one more football tonight or do anything at all. We'll see what happens. Aaron Reborn, no, not Waller. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
lot
We're
of
rooting for, we're rooting for all you guys.
lot of people in this chat have got some stake in this game. That's always exciting for those Monday nights fantasy football specials where you're waiting till the
Yeah,
very end. It's stressful as hell,
yeah,
but it's
it is.
fun. Oh, there
It
goes Waller.
definitely is.
Catch.
Yeah, I think that may have been what
Yeah.
Aaron Reborn is referring to. Um, although I'm still, for whatever reason, slightly behind. Probably because I'm streaming and I'm assuming you're on
Mm-hmm.
cable.
Yep.
That's the downside of YouTube TV. But we love
Yep.
you, YouTube. We love you. No disrespect to YouTube.
YouTube,
All
you're
right.
the best.
Yeah. All right. Chase Brown. Thinking about getting either Mooney or Chenault off waivers. Would you start either over Boyd or just roll with Boyd? Mm. Mm-hmm.
I
I
like
think they're
Boyd.
both. I do too. I think they're both good waiver additions right now, but I would still roll with Boyd personally, especially while T. Higgins is out.
Mm-hmm. I
But
like Boyd here.
Boyd is a wide receiver too. Both those guys are wide receiver too. So I would look at matchups on a week to week basis. And
Chenault's good.
Boyd's been pretty consistent, but yeah, I like where
I,
Chenault's at. Right after I drop him, and I'm high on him all offseason and preseason, I no longer own him. He starts to become relevant. So
would you agree with this tier here? Boyd, Chenault, Mooney, with Chenault going up against Tennessee, I believe.
yes, I would agree with
Yep.
that take. Definitely. This Tennessee offense or defense sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
can you name
awful, dude.
can you
They're
name one
awful.
player on that defense?
Logan Ryan, I think he's still there. Yeah, and the Jackrabbit, Janoris Jenkins. So two of their awful corners. Yeah,
I was gonna say
Jeffrey Simmons on the D line.
I can't think of anyone. Mike Vrabel, he plays linebacker there.
They might as well put Mike Vrabel linebacker. I know he's so pissed
Uh,
off he might actually get a tackle.
yeah, yeah. Redden Die, what's going on, brother? Happy to see you in the chat, man. Hope you're doing fantastic. What's up, boys? Hey, would you trade Debo for DK? I think I might accept this.
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. Realistic
It's
trade
so
offer
hard.
that you could put out there.
Mm.
Dude, that's so hard, man. Because like, honestly, yo, if I were to, if my only knock on Debo is his injury history, like that's not fair. You know what I mean? Like, how am I gonna say that about a guy? I mean, I just can't do that. I don't know. I've got no knock on Debo. The guy's he's so good.
Got no knock on DK. The double D's out here tonight, man. I
Only
don't
knock on
know.
DK is just that like it seems that this offense is it's like moving run heavy, right? And then Russell Wilson have a good game, but is it Lockett or him? Because it's never both, and it's just
Sure.
so frustrating. Um,
But Debo's frustrating too because
he is
he's
frustrating.
with the Niners.
He is.
So,
Yeah, man. I think honestly, let's see. Let me let me look at the numbers real quick before I
chat,
give
let
an
us know
answer.
as well.
It's a
Uh,
good question.
Debo or DK? Would you accept Brendan's trade? And JRX was talking about Mike Williams. Yeah, I think if Williams comes out of here with a bad game tonight, you should absolutely buy him low. And buy him low while you can because I don't think it's going to last long. So I'm all on the Mike Williams trade. Go ahead, Steven.
All right, so following up here. So you're looking at DK having 14 week one, 8.5 week two, 19.7 and 14.5, getting 3 touchdowns already this season. Next week he's got LA, then he's got Pittsburgh and the Saints. Um, that's a tough trio to go up against. Honestly, it's gonna be super unpopular, and I could agree. I could understand if you disagree with me, but I would stick with Debo. That's just my take on this, but I totally understand the reverse.
I think the ceiling's higher for Debo right now. So I kind of agree with you. But I love DK as well. So
He-
this is a tough one. Let us know, chat. DK or Debo? Who do you like more? Because we're having a hard time with that one. For sure.
Debo is seeing like 10 to 12 targets a game right now, and
Yeah.
he's so efficient with all of them.
And I think the ceiling's higher. And I think there's still competition, but looking at Tyler Lockett as a wide receiver too versus Brandon
Ayuk and Kittle.
Ayuk and Kittle. That's a good
And
point.
here's my last argument for Debo. Weeks 14 to 17. So getting into the playoffs and your playoffs. Cincinnati Bengals, Atlanta Falcons, Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans.
Yikes.
That is week 14 to 17. That is very nice if you have Debo Samuel because
Very nice.
yeah, that's a very nice matchup.
Yes. Sorry, I'm
And
fixing this crap mic again.
it's okay, man. My accents are here to, you know, to be weird.
Aaron Reborn. Oh, my bad. I missed one. Rendon die. What happened to Waller? I have him.
A lot of
Uh,
people want to know that.
I don't know. Yeah, you're not the only one wondering that tonight. Obvious,
Ooh,
obviously, unless he just made a play there that I missed, as I'm a little bit behind Stevo here. But Chargers are just defending him well. Who scored here? Did someone score?
no. Bosa
Oh,
just no,
Bosa's
was
having
it?
a good game.
Well, it wasn't even Bosa, but
Oh, just another white guy on the Chargers.
dude, you got blown up.
Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know, Rendon. Chargers are. I mean, this defense is all right, man. So that's
I
probably your
think
answer.
Yeah, I think we both agree that Waller's probably going to finish with 10 plus points in a half PPR or PPR setting, though. There's so much time for this guy to just get those catches.
Sure.
I think he's already I think he's
He's
already
open right
close.
now. Oh, he didn't get the ball.
Let's see. Waller already has, oh, shoot. Yeah, he's not even at 4 points right now. He's got a chance, though. So we might get close to 10 points, but it could be a
Yeah,
tough week.
he's always got a chance. That's why they call him D
The
Waller.
Walrus.
Yeah. I was wondering what we were going to come up with there. Aaron Reborn. I am up like 20-ish, and I have Mike Williams, but he has Eckler and Waller, so it's still up in the air. That is scary.
Mhm.
That's scary. Eckler is having a good game. Luckily for you, Waller's not having a good game. So it's scary, but hey, that's going to be fun, man. That means you're going to be watching the whole game for sure. I still need a catch by Jared Cook, man. And Renfro gets in the end zone.
Yep.
Man, I wish I was higher on Renfro earlier in the season. He's like a damn good receiver, man.
He is really good, and that's a good sign. Him scoring is a good sign for everybody involved that has stake in this game because
Yeah,
that means this game's just going to keep going up and up on the
yeah.
offense.
We need this game to stay competitive.
We got a
For
lot of catch fam wanting some fantasy offense right now. So,
yeah, yeah. Chase Brown. Even if Higgins is back, in
mm,
regards to, let's see, you had Boyd, Chenault, and who am I forgetting?
Mooney, I
And
believe.
Mooney.
I would lean Chenault here. I would lean Chenault.
Stevens definitive
Yeah, I would lean Chenault.
saying Chenault. I like what we saw out of Chenault last week a lot, and the
Target though.
chemistry between Lawrence and Chenault was real in the offseason, or preseason, I should say. And that was the main reason I was targeting him in both my primary leagues. And I dropped him, but I was losing big time, guys. I need to get some value right away. And I did not foresee DJ Chark breaking his ankle.
Yeah,
Which, by the
which
way, I
is
might get a dub with starting DJ Chark this week, which is awesome. But I've got a bad feeling I'm going to lose. But
and also
uh,
Marvin Jones is a little banged up too, so that's like a ton of opportunity for Chenault.
who do they play this week? Tennessee, right?
Yeah, Tennessee. I just think,
I
yeah, I
think,
think,
yeah, Chase, I think we're both sold on Chenault now.
yeah.
Yeah, Chenault it is.
Hmm.
But if Higgins doesn't play, I still think Boyd is a good play too. Jason Kenobi says I take Metcalf. Yeah,
Fair,
it's tough. It's tough.
fair.
I can't argue against it, man. I really can't.
Yeah, fair.
Mecky the goat. And shout out to you, Jason, for always being active in the chat, man. Whenever we do ask you guys questions, shout out to you, brother.
He has really good takes too.
Yeah, we're
Like
gonna
Kenobi's
down the
always
road,
on
man.
point.
Yeah, Kenobi, down the road, man. You know, you might be our official mod, but we'll see. Mecky the goat up by 15. He has Allen and Jacobs. Do I win?
Yes.
That's hard to say. Jacobs isn't looking great tonight, but he always is a threat in the red zone. And Allen isn't doing a whole lot, but there's a lot of time left in this game. And he's also always a threat in the red zone.
Yeah, up by 15.
It's tough. It's gonna be
I
close.
honestly think like outside of a big play, I think you're probably gonna get this one.
Be close.
Because here's the thing, Josh Jacobs does get the red zone touches, but now so does Peyton Barber, who hasn't been involved obviously that much. But
And Drake to some degree.
yeah, so I think you're good here. Obviously, that's not definitive, but I think you can feel a little bit confident that you're going to get this W, and you're probably projected right now in your app as well. They're probably saying you're going to win.
And that's all that matters. The app is
Yeah,
never
right,
wrong.
guys.
And
I go off a lot of
he's-
that. I don't go to sleep unless I'm projected to win, dude.
oh my gosh, dude. I don't pay attention to projections at all, especially in the NFL app.
Yeah, the NFL app
They'll
is
have
awful.
like they're so late. Yahoo's pretty good, but
Let us know in the
NFL,
chat which app you guys like the most. Like, do you do ESPN, Yahoo, NFL? Because NFL is a
sleeper.
nightmare. NFL is a nightmare sometimes, man.
I'm never
Yeah,
after that live stream debacle with the NFL website. I'm never drafting.
Sleeper is really cool. Sleeper is a really
Sleeper's
cool app.
dope. When we do our Catch Fam league, we're doing it through Sleeper because it's just
Yeah.
the easiest. But yeah, let us know in the chat what platform do you guys play through? Because we've got, or I personally got mine Stevens League in the NFL app, then my 20-man leagues in Yahoo, and then the Catch Fam official roster, which by the way, guys, we got the dub this week.
Hmm.
Is through ESPN. So I've got like 3 on my phone. Our opponent has Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, and we're up by about 50 points. So, I mean, that's something to monitor, technically. But I think we're good. Good.
Quick takeaway, real quick. They just showed Nathan Peterman. How many years until he's selling insurance in Dallas? Like
Dude,
how many how many years?
dude, the man's already made a living, bro. Are you kidding me?
Nathan Peterman
Dude,
is like
riding different rosters as a backup quarterback is an amazing career. I wish I
why?
had that career.
What
And John
made-
Gruden, there's coaches out there just like, yeah, that guy threw 9
Oh my-
interceptions. Let's get him.
Like, oh my
I always
God.
draft him. I always get him on my Madden teams.
Why? Why? What's the
He's a cheap
Yeah, cheap.
backup.
this
Yeah,
guy's
I'm
like
so stingy
selling
Madden.
I feel like he's like 100% commission. Like that's how he's like making it. Like this guy. Oh my gosh, Nathan Peterman. He's a man. We
He's a
will
legend.
definitely, dude. We should do a video on him in the off season. Nathan
Well,
Peterman. He's fun.
shout out Nathan Peterman. Look at Hunter Renfro's hair right now. I mean, mine wouldn't look much better. I guess I'm a little earlier than you, but they're just showing the back of Hunter Renfro, and his hair is like awful. Okay, let's
It's
move
it's
on.
pretty faded.
JRX, who do you like more, Mike Williams or Moore? Man, that is a tough question.
Mike Williams.
I like DJ Moore a lot.
Oh, DJ Moore. I was thinking Rondale. Yeah, DJ. Yeah, for sure. DJ
Uh,
Moore.
just based on pure number one receiver value, because DJ Moore might be the most prime example in the league right now of a true number one receiver who's just getting all that volume.
I think he's gonna
Uh,
finish top 3 in the NFL this year.
Man, we called this too. We talked
Mhm.
about this so much in the offseason and preseason, man. The strength of schedule was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked a lot about Robbie Anderson too, who obviously is not shaping out, but I can't believe I missed that one, man. A lot of players we talked about in mock drafts and things, and we just didn't hit on it, man.
Yeah, you gotta be like sold on your analysis going into the draft, and sometimes it's easy to just kind of take a step back and go with what your biases are, maybe. But man, DJ Moore had so many things going in his favor this year, and he's taking advantage, man. Full credit, dude. He's
He's
balling
balling.
out.
He's balling. Tackled by the Raiders here, man. Man, I'm getting worried. No Jared Cook reception there. I'm getting worried. I could definitely see Jared Cook not catching another ball. Absolutely see it. JRX, I've been using Sleeper for the past 2 years, and I really like it.
Watch this
Yeah,
next part, John.
I didn't really get hip to Sleeper until this past offseason. Though they're going for it. Is it Jared Cook? It is. Let's go. Yeah,
Let's get it. Good
that's a
win.
dub. Finally, man, I needed that in my 20-man league so badly.
Are you like
bro.
checking your app to make sure everything
I did.
processed? Are you
I'm
like,
up.
oh
I'm up
no?
by 2 points now. So.
Now see a fumble happen?
Dude, I almost started Pat Freiermuth over Jared Cook,
Oh
and he
my
had
gosh.
2 points.
He had a great matchup,
Yeah,
all
and
things
I
considered.
didn't listen to you because you were like, dude, trust me,
Yeah.
he's gonna have a great game, and that
Sort
was
of.
actually the reason why I didn't start him. If I'm not gonna lie. I was
Nice.
like, I can't listen to Steven.
I'm
Oh my
always.
gosh, let's go, man! I needed that dub.
That must feel good.
I really needed that, bro. I
Did
should have
you?
won the last 2 weeks. I should be 4-0. I really should be. My team's not that bad for 20 men.
Oof, 12 man. That's rough. Huh?
Yeah.
You were only projected 96 this week.
Yeah, the NFL app hates me, bro.
Yeah, it's really bad on projections.
All right, moving on to week 5. I got to win.
Yeah, good job.
Let's go, catch fam.
Max Crosby looking like one of the best defenders in all of football, man. Holy shit, he looks good.
He's been amazing this year, man.
Yeah.
Good take by the Raiders to go for it on fourth down there. I mean the Chargers, excuse me.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna be dropping DJ Chark. Dude, I've had 3 players on IR in my
I don't know.
20 man.
You don't think it'll work out for Chark the rest of the season?
Well, I don't
He
know
might
how long. Okay,
he might coach better than Urban Meyer.
that's true. Hey, shout out Urban Meyer, man.
Oh gosh, this guy
Yeah, I went over that Saturday night. I mean,
can't get over. He
did
can't
you
get out of
see?
his own way. Yeah, I saw.
Okay, I was about to say if you didn't see that, he
I
said
got a lot
something.
of.
I read like his official statement. He was like, "I was just out at dinner, and like these people were just asking me to take all these photos with them," and I
Yeah,
was like, "Dude, you're such a fucking liar."
he's honestly a prick.
Yeah,
I'm
no
not
doubt
trying to
about that.
talk too much about the guy, but I I have a lot of beliefs about Urban Meyer, but he just I can't wait for the Jaguars to move off of this guy. It's unfortunate too, because dude, the bigger thing out of this football wise is like This hurts Trevor Lawrence, man. Like
Sure.
he's gonna probably have a totally new head coach and offensive coordinator next season,
Yeah.
just to start off his career. Obviously, Urban Meyer has not done a good job fostering a good like culture and team around him. So it's a shame. I do think Lawrence. I hope he can get a better coach next time though.
All right. Let me ask you guys this question. I'm gonna need a sip of water for this one.
Oh, sip up. Nice mason jar. I love the mason jar. I'm really about mason jars. Seriously.
Steven is about mason jars.
They're super classy.
All right. So in my 20-man league, I mean, keep in consideration 20 men in the league, boys and girls. I think there might actually. I don't know. Anyways, 20 teams. I've already got Corey Davis. Should I attempt to get Jameson Crowder off the waivers? Or
Yeah,
is that
like
too many Jets?
one jet is too many jets, but I do like Crowder. I think he is a lot of. I think he's a good player. Um,
What do you guys think in the chat? Too many Jets, or am I safe? Oh man, I've seen a commercial for Secession. Shout out, great show.
great
But
show, guys.
yeah, go shout out HBO Max. Go subscribe and watch that show.
Subscribe
But
here first, though. The catch is
yeah,
better.
yeah. I think everyone in here is subscribed. But um, I mean, it's definitely an upgrade over DJ Chark. So I'll put in that waiver. I'm gonna start
Yeah.
going through our waivers while we're here.
Okay.
What about this man, Khalif Raymond
Mm-mm.
on the Lions, 2 weeks in a row with at least 12 points?
Yeah, I don't know about him. He's not bad. Yeah, that's a good comment, Chase. Crowder is a beast in PPR. I'm assuming you're
Yeah,
talking about Crowder.
it is full PPR. Here's a sleeper for you guys. Um, Cedric Wilson on the Cowboys.
Dude, that spin move he put on the corner after catching it, that was nuts.
His overall targets concern me. He hasn't had more than 4 targets in a game. He hasn't had more than 3 receptions in a game. But the last 2 weeks, he's had a touchdown. Now he gets the Giants.
Giants are Giants are probably I don't know. Giants are weird.
I feel like it might not work out for me. But it's definitely a better player than DJ Chark. So we'll think about it. We'll think about it here. And then I might be dropping Fearmouth as well.
Are you not interested in any running backs?
Let me double check.
There's probably like none.
I think most of them are taken. People are pretty hip to handcuff situations. I know Williams is not on the block.
Dylan.
AJ
Gainwell.
Dillon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gainwell is like a
those
must have
guys.
in my opinion.
Let me read you. Ty Johnson, Savannah Med, Telvin Coleman are the top guys.
Samaji Piran.
No, he's not available. Yeah, it's rough.
Oh,
Okay. I am going to put in a waiver for Bolden, though. I like him a lot.
bro. He's so annoying. I really wanted Ramondre Stevenson to play.
I did too. We're both fans of Stevenson.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing the play. Man, I just can't. Oh, there's a flag. The way
Asante
Henry
Samuel was good too.
Ruggs, yeah, I mean the way Henry Ruggs is used, man. I feel like he gets one of these deep balls every freaking game.
I think they utilize him horribly. This would be a guy I would be trying to get the ball into his hands like immediately, like so many
Yeah.
times a game. They throw it to him twice a game, and it's like a deep shot. It's like give him like a catchable ball, you know? Like we
He's a
talked in
good
the
player.
beginning of the season, in the preseason, I think after they gutted the O line, we were under the thought process that maybe they were going to switch to like some short passes, stuff that Derek Carr did a lot in college, hitting guys like Ruggs and Renfro and these screens and slants and stuff. But they are not really doing that, at least with Ruggs.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. Chase Brown is going to PPR more valuable at least, and yes to Crowder. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think Steven does as well. JRX, I like the one jet is too many comment. Yeah, I don't trust the Jets right now. I don't
Yeah.
either. But then again, I benched Corey Davis in our 12-man league this week, uh, I didn't trust him, and that wouldn't have got me the dub alone, but I would have been much closer. So,
There, there goes Waller.
who else do I have here? The only other two options that I'm looking at are Max Williams and Randall Cobb. Do you guys think Cobb is going to be consistent? Because he hasn't been.
Well, look at JRX's comment right there. Put in a waiver for Randall Cobb, sleeper pickup. I like him actually, man.
You do. I mean, he's got to take off, right? I mean, Aaron wanted this guy on the squad.
I think he's a good pickup. And I think, going forward too, it's just yeah, like you said, yeah. I mean, Aaron put his stake in there, and I think that it's going to take him a week or two to get, it's going to take him a little bit to get into the offense. Rest of the season though, I think Cobb's going to be better.
I'm scared of it.
I'd also kind of rather have a guy like Cobb than a guy like Crowder, especially if you already have a Jet.
That's a good
Um,
point too.
just because like I would rather have more pieces of that Packers offense.
Let me
I
ask
put
you this. I feel like you had something you really wanted to say.
no, yeah, I it's slipping my head. Having one of those brain farts, but
Okay,
I
go.
feel like they've got an injury right now in that receiving core too that's opening up opportunities. JRX, if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. But I think MBS or somebody just got banged up pretty bad, so it opens up some opportunities for Cobb.
How do you guys feel about KJ Osborne? Because I've got him in both my leagues, and he hasn't really gotten back to what he did in week 1 and week 2, and it's kind of pissing me off.
He's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I kind of hate
But
this
he's
guy.
got Detroit this week, and then Carolina. I mean, Carolina's been great up front, but their
Uh,
secondary has been getting a little bit worse. So
I like Osborne.
okay, I'm gonna hold on to him. Hold on to him. Uh, Chase Brown dropping Tyson Williams
Oh,
this week, not looking good for rest of season. Yeah, the Tyson Williams situation really caught us off guard. Like really caught us off guard. Who just scored?
yeah, we're gonna wait, and then I got some stuff on that. But yeah, check this out. Whew, that's a bad boy right there. That's a
Yeah, that
bad boy.
Waller can catch that rock. And what did I say at halftime?
Yeah.
Raiders going to come out and make this a competitive game.
Whew.
Yeah,
There we
yeah.
go. Well, also, what else?
Sorry to
Um,
you guys who needed Waller to play bad, and shout out to you guys who needed him to play good.
um,
Still plenty of time left, but yeah, go
yeah.
ahead. Sam.
Tyson Williams, I definitely think that you could probably move off of him. I don't really know. I mean, if you could wait another week, maybe you could wait another week, but he's got the Colts. That's gonna be kind of a tough matchup. I think you could definitely drop him and not even worry about it. He started off like he looked all right, had a fumble problem. After that, it's just been like, all right, whatever. Um,
Yeah, I mean, Latavius Murray is the guy right now,
yeah, which
which
is
is like,
weird.
and like he's not really doing anything. Like they're still splitting time, and Lamar Jackson is still the quarterback. So
He's still the running back too.
yeah, it's like I don't know, man. I think he's droppable, but I'm really gonna feel bad if he comes out and plays quite well because
Lev
it's
Bell
like
had 4 rushes and a catch, or no, and a target. So he's getting more involved too. Um, yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know, dude. I think it is definitely leaning Latavius Murray, who's actually available in our leagues.
yeah, I'm aware of that. I don't know. I don't know who to put in waivers for in our league and who to give up. I don't know what to do with my team, man.
Well, tell me who you put because I'm after you. So, or I can tell you who I put since I'm after you.
I mean, the two guys I put in yesterday are Bolton Schultz and Sam Darnold.
Oh, you going after Schultz?
At the moment, I guess.
Let me
But
tell you a little trade strategy I would have done if I hadn't already traded in our league. I wanted to pick up Dalton Schultz and trade Mark Andrews. How do you feel about that strategy? Because I think people can do that out there.
yeah, I think that'd probably be a good move.
Yeah. Mark Andrews
That's my
is
full
really sketch.
evaluation.
Yeah. I'm not doing it
I
though, man.
like, I like. I'm not crazy about Latavius Murray,
Yeah.
but he might be worth it. But I'm just not crazy about it. He's got some. The Ravens have some tough matchups this year for running backs. Uh, I like AJ Green right now, but like I really just I kind of need a receiver. Yeah, my receivers kind of suck.
I need a
Uh,
receiver too.
Aladdin Hamad, Waller just ate good. Yeah,
Yeah,
great score.
dude, that's the thing with Waller, man. Like it's like when is he gonna finally just score? When is he gonna make a big play? Or when is he gonna get 5 to 10 catches? Like he's about like as sure as any player in all of football, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you guys still like the Saints defense?
Mm.
I feel like their number one rating is more so due to a couple performances, and I don't know how consistent they're going to be on the season.
Yeah, they make my
Like,
video as well, but as a very late option, like somebody that like I'm not
dude, I
super
like
sold
this
on.
Washington football team.
Dude, but dude, Heineke, like during the game, like I felt like there were multiple passes that could have been picked. He likes to do a lot, which could lead to sacks. And this
Dude,
Saints
don't hate on
defense is
Heineke, bro.
it's better than the Falcons, man.
The nice thing with our league that like luckily we can basically keep between us because we're really the only ones who look at this for the most part is that we always have streaming options at defense.
Yeah.
Like there's some good defenses available right now. Like the Cardinals are out there, the Chargers are out there, the Raiders are out there, the Browns are out there, the Rams are out there. Like, uh,
Cardinals don't make my video, but they're sneaky, like you said. Trey Lance,
well,
I think
yeah,
it's a good start against Lance. Lance looked like he was having a trouble processing
and I,
stuff.
I'm just naming like decent defenses in general that you know might not be good starts this week, but in the future, Panthers are out there, man. You know, Eagles are out there,
Yeah, Panthers are good.
the Jets are out there.
There's a good question coming up here in the comments, by the way. Literally
Derek,
what we just said.
I have both Andrews and Schultz. Should I consider trading Andrews for another piece of making Schultz my tight end one? Yeah, Steven was just
Yeah.
literally talking about doing the same exact thing. So maybe I don't know if you're bouncing off of Steven's question, but mm, what do you think, Steven? Since you're in that
Yeah,
situation,
let's actually piece this out a bit because I know you do the tight end starts every week, and I've got Mark Andrews, and I actually just dropped Dalton Schultz, so I had him. Um, Looking retrospect, I wouldn't have dropped Dalton Schultz, and I would have kept him, and I would have explored the trade market for Mark Andrews, right? I think if you're gonna go off of a guy like Mark Andrews, who is still a guy you can be confident in at tight end week to week, which is valuable because tight ends are obviously very inconsistent. You really want to get a for sure running back or receiver, like RB2, wide receiver 2. You're probably not going to get an RB1 or wide receiver 1 for this guy, but um, you want a guy you can put in your lineup, right? So if you can go out there and make a trade and you can return value at those positions, I'd say do it, man. Yeah, and you're saying you got Goddard as well. That definitely makes a difference
if
for
you can
sure.
trade Andrews and pick up Schultz, then yeah,
Yeah, do
I'm on board.
that. Pair him with Goddard too, and that's a week to week. You can always have an absolute stud at tight end. So, yeah,
Yeah.
brother, go ahead and slam that trade offer. Tell us what you get too. Let us know who you get because I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be
let's
pissed because I could have made that trade.
let us know who you're targeting for sure. And kind of the big thing with Mark Andrews before the season that he's always been someone heavily targeted in the red zone. And outside of last week, where he had 3 red zone targets,
Oof.
he had 0 red zone targets on the season.
That's a really good stat you just brought up. And this Ravens offense in general, man, looking a lot different. Really
Yes.
going after their wide receivers a lot more. I guess they got kind of annoyed with how everybody said that they just throw it to Mark Andrews and nobody else, and no wide receiver wanted to join them in the offseason. So they were like, oh, I guess we got to start throwing it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Andrews is looking increasingly less valuable than he was coming into the season.
And don't get me wrong, that could change at any point in time. But I think if you have Goddard and you can pick up Schultz, then I don't think it's going to matter. I think they're going to be about as consistent as a good Mark Andrews could be.
Good
I, I,
job.
I drafted Andrews and I was able to pick up Goddard and Schultz. Oh, so you have Schultz. Yeah, then I would trade the shit out of Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if it's just like a low end wide receiver or running back, if it's adding depth to your roster or considering Andrews for a wide receiver too, I think that's a good idea, man.
Let's look at
Uh,
some wide receiver twos he might be able to get going at. He was saying like a wide receiver two. Yeah. see.
Did your mom started Nicole Hardman?
Yeah, pretty
Did
rough.
you? You should target Renfro. I mean, I know he's more of a wide receiver one, but that might be more tough. I mean, even in half PPR, he's had at least 8 points and then no less than 10 points in any other
Do
game.
you
So
think you could trade a guy like Mark Andrews in a package for a guy like a Deontay Johnson? Or do you think that's too much? I mean, he's wide receiver
I mean,
41 on
it's
the
just going
year.
to depend on if the team you're trading to has a bad situation at tight end. But
Yeah.
in that circumstance, yeah,
Um, because I'm looking. I think you like if you trade Andrews, you could get like a big name guy more than likely. That maybe is just not playing up to his level. Um, another
yeah,
guy. I mean,
Robert
like
Woods.
yeah, Robert Woods is somebody definitely you could target. I think he's gonna eventually jump up. Calvin Ridley. We just talked about him earlier, but coming off of 15, 10, and 11, offense looks like it's getting a little bit better.
I think that
Um,
had to be like a package deal.
Potentially, yeah, unless the guy was annoyed with Ridley and needed a
I don't
tight
think you
end.
can trade Andrews for Ridley straight up.
No, no, oh yeah, you would
Let
probably
us
need to include it something else.
let us know, Jarex, if there's any teams hurting at tight end in your uh, league, and if you're potentially, viewing or looking at any wide receiver twos on that respective team as well. Yeah, I'm looking through some of the matchups for this week in our league. Man, our boy Chandler is just getting railed. Like
Yeah, dude.
I'm not even playing that bad. Uh,
I feel bad for him though because he should have won this week and been tied with us, but Tom Brady comes out and has 11 points and he starts Philip
yeah,
Lindsay
it's
again.
you. It's your fault.
Oh my gosh.
Kirsten. Dude, Bryce versus Tyler is at 67 and 51 points. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Low scoring affair there. Dusty and Colin in our league have a fantastic matchup.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah, it was a good week in fantasy.
You got the
Thankfully,
dub.
Eckler came up. Yeah, thankfully Eckler came up. Um, but yeah, I'm about to jump off the stream, guys. This was a great first stream. Felt good to get in here with y'all. Appreciate everybody kind of jumping in and kind of giving some feedback. And I'm gonna respond to one comment before I leave too. Dropping Bengals defense tomorrow. What defense should I target for tomorrow for next week? So definitely take a look at the video that'll be dropping tomorrow. But if you can somehow get the Pats, I think that'd be a good one. Trying to think about another one here that I may have the Steelers are another one that might be out there as well. Just depends. Cowboys, I like the Cowboys here. They're going up against Daniel Jones. They're a great defense, though. I think they're not going to be as high of a ceiling as this week against the Panthers. But going up against the Giants and Daniel Jones, you always have turnover opportunities still. I would say you could definitely put in a waiver on the Cowboys and feel pretty good about it.
I think it's a good call, too.
Yeah.
All right, Steven, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining the stream tonight. We will see you
Absolutely.
soon.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Chase, check out that video too. Maybe that'll help out as well.
yeah, it should be up by tomorrow morning. So, yep. All
All
right,
right.
Steven.
See you later,
We will
gang.
talk to
See
you
you the
later, man.
catch. Yep.
Peace. All right, all right, all right. So, Chase says Cowboys question mark. Yeah, man. I've got the Cowboys in my 20-man league, and I'm just kind of riding that wave right now. I mean, I had the Panthers, and I was kind of riding that wave as well, and I'm glad I switched, or else I may have not won this week. But I like where the Cowboys are at. They look good, man. I mean, a big point for me is that they gave up 28 points, and they still had, depending on your scoring format, like 8 to 10 fantasy points. So I think they're a good start this week, Chase. All right, I'm going to go through as we finish up this game. Chargers need to score here, man. I'm going to go through my rosters for next week, see where I'm at. Let's see where I'm at. And just so you guys know, tomorrow night, Steve and I are planning on doing must start running back and wide receiver live stream, followed by fantasy Q&A. And then the next night, we're planning on must start quarterback and tight end live stream, followed by fantasy Q&A once again. Then Thursday night, we'll do a Thursday night football live stream hangout with some fantasy Q&A, of course. And then Friday, we'll just do a general fantasy Q&A, although Steve and I might be doing a little bit of a podcast topic. JRX, what time are the streams? We're planning on starting them at 7:30, starting a little bit earlier for those two streams. Then Thursday, of course, we'll hop in probably at the second half of the Thursday night game. And then Friday might be a little bit earlier. Might be. And then Saturday, of course, we have the late night. I mean, we actually usually start a little bit early, like 9:30, 10 on Saturdays, but that one goes pretty long. Then Sunday, we're looking at a pregame stream. And I've been doing the Sunday night streams, but the Sunday night stream is always up in the air. It's a long week. It's a long week, guys. So that one is not always for sure, but I do like to get that Sunday pregame stream in for you guys if you have any last minute questions, excuse me. And then the Sunday night stream is like a nice time to do a good recap, right? So yeah, but generally speaking, the streams are going to be based off of the second half of the respective football games for the night. And outside of that, are really going to be probably about running into the 7:30 time frame. So we should, what we're hoping to do is every morning have it posted so you guys will know what time the streams are at. And then, because we can't schedule them ahead of time. So that is the plan at the moment. So you guys can kind of be aware, just check it in the morning or at lunch, whatever. Wow. What a bomb Derek Carr just threw to Henry Ruggs. Man, I knew I should not have benched Henry Ruggs. But yeah, appreciate you asking, JRX. We'll try and have those scheduled ahead of time so you guys have a little bit of time to plan ahead. All right, just sending a quick text, guys. All right. Let's see here. Wow, I got a tough matchup next week. Got one of the best teams. Ranked number 3 right now, but should drop. He had a pretty bad loss. Only put up 51 points this past week, but I think that is more of an anomaly as opposed to something I'll see on a regular basis. So, yeah, it's a tough matchup in week 5 for me. Let's see. He's got Kirk Cousins, Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift, Marvin Jones, Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, Myles Gaskin, Minnesota's kicker. He's got the Titans defense in right now. Then on his bench, he's got Michael Carter, Melvin Gordon, Sony Michel, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, and Sterling Shepard. Who, luckily, there's a lot of question marks on that bench, but I am relatively scared of this matchup. And this is one of the more this is one of the players in our league who talks a lot of smack. So this should be fun. But let's see who I've got and what my matchups are looking like. Let's see here. Got Lamar Jackson at Indy. I mean, he's due for a good game, right? David Montgomery, I guess, is not playing. I mean, he would be first in Vegas. So, gosh, that's not good. Not good at all. James Robinson versus Tennessee should be a good matchup. So I'm excited there. A.J. Brown at Miami should be a decent matchup. Need a better game out of A.J. Brown. I mean, he had those 2 red zone targets, in yesterday's game. So Just need to see him come through on those. Tim Patrick at Pittsburgh. I'm probably not starting him, to be honest. Mike Gesicki at Tampa Bay. That's a good matchup. It's a good matchup. Javonte Williams at Pittsburgh is a bad matchup. I've got some bad matchups coming up. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Is Javonte Williams droppable? He hasn't really broken out like I've hoped. I've also got Zach Pascal hanging out on the bench, and hasn't really seen those red zone opportunities. He's got two tough matchups: Baltimore and Houston, and then San Francisco. He's got some tough matchups and some good matchups down the stretch. So I don't know if he's droppable, but jeez, I got some decisions to make. Let's see what waivers I have in right now. Derek Carr takes a sack. Dalton Schultz dropping KJ Osborne or Sam Darnold dropping KJ Osborne, picking up AJ Green. I mean, I guess I need to go after Damian Williams, who's also questionable right now. That's not good. Suffered a thigh bruise. Yeah, I forgot about this. They face Vegas. Tough decision there. Tough decision. Latavius Murray, who's he facing? Indy, a bad matchup. I don't know that I'm crazy about those two waivers. All right, let's see who else is out there. I mean, Danny Dimes is out there. I really don't feel like I need too much of a quarterback change. Jamison Crowder's out there. But I've also got Corey Davis on this roster. All right, let's see. Roderick Hughes. Should I trade Dalvin Cook for Chubb and Javonte? I'm down horrendous on RBs with Cook, Latavius, Tyson Williams, J.D. McKissick, and Kyle Juszczyk. Yes. Yeah. Why not? If you're down that bad, then I actually don't think that's a bad trade. And I think you can consider dropping Tyson Williams and potentially picking up, especially if you have Latavius Murray, you can consider picking up someone on the waiver as well. Maybe Williams, right? Maybe Alex Collins right now. Although I don't know how much I like that. I don't know how much I like Collins. But yeah, looking at the trade, I think it'll help you. I do. I like Nick Chubb a lot, man. So I don't think it's that bad of a trade. Let us know in the chat what you guys think of Roderick's trade. I'm going to try to get Crowder or Mooney and drop Tyson. I think that's a good call, too. I think those are two good replacements for dropping Tyson. JRX, is Montgomery injured? Yeah, he is. We don't know exactly what the injury is still, if I'm not mistaken. He just has a knee injury. But he's avoided a serious injury, is the good news. He was able to walk off of the field. But at first, it was looking pretty bad. Like he had definitely. Sorry, guys. Like he had definitely tore his ACL or MCL or something. So that's the good news, is that he avoided any injury, or serious injury, not any injury. But yeah, he's definitely hurt right now, which is very bad for me who owns him. So see what happens. Christian McCaffrey and David Montgomery going down has not been very fun for me. I'll tell you guys that much. Roderick, let's see here. I have A.J. Brown, who's hurt, and my current receivers are Lockett, Sutton, and Sanders, which is not good. So I'm blowing my team up right now. I don't disagree, but trust me, those receivers are actually not that bad. Yeah, I think it'll be good on the season, man. But I think it's still a good idea to get Mooney or Crowder. I'm kind of leaning towards Crowder between the two, but not any less, man. I think picking up Chubb and Williams, or Javonte Williams, and getting Crowder or Mooney are good additions, man. I feel pretty good about that overall. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I've got some tough waiver decisions to make. I think I'm going to pick up AJ Green, guys. Let's see. Tim Patrick's coming off a bad week. I'm going to hold on to Tim Patrick, though. All right, JRX. Who's on your team? Yeah, I'm referring to my 12-man team. Okay, I've got Lamar Jackson, David Montgomery, James Robinson, Antonio Brown, Tim Patrick, Mike Gesicki, Javonte Williams, Matt Gay at kicker, Saints defense and Patriots defense, Christian McCaffrey, Corey Davis, KJ Osborne, Zach Pascal, and Henry Ruggs. So I got problems, to say the least. Let's see. I am looking at AJ Green pretty heavily. Wow, good catch by Jared Cook. I didn't think I'd be saying that AJ Green could potentially save my fantasy team, but he might. Although after this matchup versus San Francisco, which is not great, but it's pretty good, got a very tough stretch. This is kind of my worry with AJ Green, right? Week 6, Cleveland. Week 7, Houston. Week 8, Green Bay. And even, week 5 is San Francisco, and then week 9 is San Francisco, and then week 10 is Carolina. And yes, Houston is ranking number 9 against opposing receivers right now. And that's going to change slightly with how bad they played against the Bills, and these numbers aren't completely updated. But still, it's not great. Randall Cobb is out there. I'm going to have to take some time really looking through these waivers and deciding who I want to drop and who I want to pick up. Randall Cobb, I think I agree with you guys. Could be a sleeper kind of pick for the rest of the season. All right, let's see. JWN324, what is going on, man? Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing fantastic. Happy to have you here, as always. I have a trade lined up to trade Aaron Rodgers and Kenny Golladay for Kamara. Should I go for it? JRX says yes. I would say yes, too. Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't doubt Kamara by any means. So, yeah, I think it's a great trade, especially if you're confident at the quarterback position outside of Aaron Rodgers. And even if you're not, I think you can probably pick up someone on the waiver wire and still feel pretty good. And, yeah, overall, man, I think it's a good trade for you. I would absolutely do that trade. And now I see you have Lamar at quarterback. Yeah. You can still pick up, Danny Dimes or Taylor Heineke or Darnold or Kirk Cousins or whoever is out there, right? Maybe Trey Lance, right? So, yeah, I think you should do that trade 100%, especially if you have Lamar, right? So, yeah, that's a good trade for you, man. I'm happy to see that. JRX, sorry to hear about CMC. I think he'll come back. I certainly hope so, man, but it's all good. I've definitely got the injury bug this year. I've had at least one player get injured every week between my 12 and 20-man league. Or leagues, I should say. So I've got the injury bug for sure. JWYNN, I should say. Okay, thank you. I just wanted some more opinions. Of course, man. Yeah. And if you guys in the chat have any opinions, right, please throw them out as well. JRX, I traded Rodgers and Devontae Smith for Chris Carson. Nice. I think that's actually a good trade. Although I don't know what's going on with Carson recently. But, yeah, I think that's a pretty good trade. Carson's been pretty consistent outside this past week. So I like that trade, man. Chase Brown, that owner with Kamara better not accept that. That's robbery. LOL. Hope you get it done, though. Yeah, he must be hurting at the receiver, or not the receiver, maybe at the receiver position if he wants Galladay that bad, but definitely hurting at the quarterback position, right? I think Galladay's value is going to tank once Shepard and, uh, oh my gosh, Slayton are back. I almost forgot Darius Slayton's name. Uh, Steven talked about Devonta Smith a little bit earlier. He might be out there on the waivers and might be a good addition. Wow, Austin Eckler just scored again. He's balling out, man. Eckler is balling tonight. Roger Hughes, should I try to trade Sutton? If so, any potential trade ideas? That one's difficult. I still like Sutton on the season, but I do think his value is going to be down while Bridgewater's out. So I don't hate the idea of trading him by any means. He really hasn't had a good game since. I mean, given that the Jets and the Ravens have actually been pretty damn good against opposing receivers, he really hasn't done anything since Jacksonville. He's got a good matchup this week against Pittsburgh, but he really doesn't see a good matchup again until weeks 8 and 9 against Washington and Dallas. So if you want to do a straight up trade, 1-for-1, I think it's possible. And if you're looking to get a different receiver, I mean, why not trade for a guy like Corey Davis? Do you think that's a good idea? I don't know. Should we trust the Jets? I don't know. Probably not. But looking at where Sutton's at, it's kind of tough because you're kind of having to sell him pretty low. So really, you'd have to look to a team that's hurting at the receiver position. And I mean, you might be able to get a low end running back or a low end wide receiver, but it's tough to say who, because that respective team is definitely going to have to be hurting at the receiver position, in my personal opinion. Because Sutton, I think his value is going to be even worse with Bridgewater out, and it already hasn't been too great. So I am looking through here, trying to come up with maybe Hunter Renfrow would be a good option, right? Maybe like an Odell Beckham. I think those would be two relatively realistic guys that you could try for. Although Beckham didn't play great yesterday and has a tough matchup against the Chargers coming up, that is. I think Renfrow is a good trade target. Outside of that, it's a tough call. Maybe Christian Kirk could work out. But yeah, I just don't know how much value you're going to get out of that trade. But I don't think it's a bad time to trade him, to answer your question. Looking through last page here. You might have to consider someone in a different position. Someone looking to ship maybe a tight end or running back that they have too many of. But most teams have too many wide receivers as well. So let me know who you're thinking of targeting as well. JWYN324. One more thing. What's a good wide receiver should target in a trade with David Montgomery? So you're trading away David Montgomery. That's tough. That's a tough one. Let's think here. Maybe a Jamar Chase? I still really like Jamar Chase, guys. It is his worst game of the season against Jacksonville, but I still really like him. I would consider Jamar Chase for sure. Outside of that, maybe a Hollywood Brown. People still kind of wary of starting him, although he's balling out lately. Maybe Hollywood Brown. I like those two guys for sure. Let me know what you think about that. Brown and Chase in the same division. Maybe Chris Godwin coming off of a bad game. Might be worth it too. So yeah, I like those guys. Let me know what you think about those guys for sure. All right, I want to pull up my 20-man league and see what I've got going on in week 5. So happy I got the dub week 4. 20-man league, it gets rough. Okay. Oh gosh, I've got Trevor Lawrence versus Tennessee. Let's look at this team I'm playing. Matthew Stafford, Juju, Michael Pittman, Najee Harris, Kyle Huschek, Tyler Higbee, Mike Williams, Mac Prater, and Tampa Bay's defense, then Devontae Freeman, Josh Jacobs, Dalton Schultz, and Deshaun Jackson. So a pretty good team for a 20-man league. Let's see here. All right, so I've got Trevor Lawrence, Tim Patrick, Corey Davis. I don't think I'm going to be starting Tim Patrick. Man, I'm really not showing any faith in Drew Lock, but yeah. Rondell Moore's on my bench. Man, my receivers are hurting with Jerry Jeudy going down. When is Jeudy supposed to come back? Does anyone know? I really need Jerry Jeudy back. I've got Aaron Jones at Cincinnati. James Robinson at Tennessee. Should be a good week for Jacksonville. Jared Cook at Cleveland. Dallas at the Giants. Man, the way the Giants are playing, I don't know if I even want to start Dallas. JRX, how often are trades being made in a 20-man league? Not too crazy often, to be honest with you. I would say about every other week, maybe a little bit longer than that. There's actually a trade going on right now. Odell Beckham for Lamar Jackson. So that's kind of interesting. I put out there that I wanted a trade because Tua was my starting quarterback, my only quarterback on my roster, and he got injured. And I ended up trading Darrell Henderson for Trevor Lawrence just out of desperation. And yeah. Outside of that, I don't think there's been any other trades. There are a couple trade offers after I posted that. Like someone offered me Joe Burrow for Aaron Jones, for example, which obviously I did not do. There was another trade or two. This guy was trying to get me to trade Darrell Henderson for Jacoby Brissett, which did not happen either. But yeah, honestly, not that often. I feel like there may have been one more trade not involving me, but not that often. They probably should happen more, though. So we'll see. JJ, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well tonight. What's up, man? Was wondering what you think. I got offered to trade Miles Sanders and Tyler Lockett to receive Joe Mixon and Zach Moss. I have Zeke as my only other running back. Wide receivers, I have Devontae Adams, Jefferson, and DJ Moore. I think it's a good trade. So you're trading away Miles Sanders and Tyler Lockett. You already have Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, and DJ Moore. Yeah, I think that's a really good trade. I think you should absolutely do that trade. Yeah, take that trade while it's on the table, man. I think that's a fantastic trade for you. It's going to add a lot of running back depth with you getting Mixon and Moss. I mean, I think Mixon's a little banged up, but in the long run, it's still going to help you, man. And you can start Moss in the meantime. So I think it's a fantastic trade. I think you should absolutely take that, man. 100% take that trade. All right. JRX, I'm considering Henry for Montgomery and Moore. So you'd be receiving Henry? Or you'd be receiving Montgomery and Moore? Sorry, sometimes I get these backwards, so I just try and make sure. JJ, appreciate that, man. 100%, man. Of course. That's what we're here for. But yeah, seriously, JJ, I think that's a really good trade on your end, man. Really, really good trade. JRX, I'm trading away Henry. Remind me again of your full roster. Very leery of trading away Derrick Henry, but just remind me, and we'll see here because I think DJ Moore's value is great. When Montgomery's healthy, he's still going to be someone you can rely on. So yeah, remind me of your full roster. All right, let's see here. Man, I'm going to end up with both Jets on my roster in my 20-man league. Which is probably not good. Chase Brown says, I like Henry too much. Maybe I'm biased. I like Henry a lot too, so I might be a little biased there as well. But just remind me of your full roster JRX. Austin Eckler with a big night tonight. Jeez. Trying to make sure there's no one available in my 20-man league that I'm forgetting about. John Ross. I might pick up John Ross. And we still haven't seen Terrace Marshall Jr. have that big game that we've been kind of waiting for. Jarex, QB, Lamar, running back Carson and Henry, wide receiver Lockett and Rager, tight end Andrews, your flex is Schultz and Goddard. That's tough because you need the help at receiver. And I mean, I think the thing that you have to realize at the moment is, of course, David Montgomery is injured. So that's tough, man, because you're not going to be able to start. You're going to need another running back on your bench, at least, because you won't be able to start Montgomery right away. I really like Derrick Henry and what he could do for you. He might be one of those difference makers, but you need another receiver as well. So I'm kind of torn on that one. That's a tough one, man, because I think Henry's very valuable to your roster, but you definitely need another receiver, as you're stating with Rager saying LOL. But that's tough. I think the main thing is I'd like to know if you have anyone on your bench or anyone on the waiver wire you think you can get at the running back position, because you won't be able to start Montgomery while he's hurt. So let me know. Then I'll continue to ponder, because that's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. Chase Brown, regret trading away Eckler and Carson for CMC and Josh Allen. Yeah, I'm sure you do, man. CMC will be back, and Josh Allen's still a solid QB1, but Eckler's playing good football. I mean, Carson's kind of up in the air at the moment, which is odd. So I get it, man, but I do think down the stretch, CMC could still be helpful for you. Chase Brown, Eckler was my guy this year. Yeah, our co-host Steven, that was his guy too. So yeah, it's definitely tough watching a game like this, knowing you traded away that value. But I think down the stretch, CMC will come back for you, man. JWNN, do you think Montgomery and McKissick is a fair trade for McLaurin? Are you trading away Montgomery and McKissick? If that's the case, then yes. I don't think it's a bad trade, but I just want to make sure that you're confident at the running back position outside of those guys. Sorry, guys. I got this new mic, and it's like kind of hard to navigate around. But yeah, as long as you're giving up two running backs, I have Chubb and Kamara at running back without them. Okay. I think you can definitely start Chubb and Kamara on a weekly basis. So, yeah, I think it's a fair trade, man. If you need the help at receiver, I mean, Scary Terry's going to give it to you. So, yeah, I don't think that's bad. I think it's a pretty fair trade. Now, if he can rebuttal and get a second player of some sort of value, then I don't think that's bad either. So, either way, I think it's an okay trade. But you should always rebuttal and try and get a little bit better of a deal as well. Let's see here. Hector, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in the chat tonight. Drop Fuller for Curtis Samuel, looking for high output. I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, Curtis Samuel had 4 targets, 4 receptions his first game back. Yeah, I view them relatively similar, but yeah, I think it's a good drop and add for sure. JRX, I don't have any running backs on the bench, and my best options on the waiver are Purine and Alex Collins. I don't think it's that bad of a trade, but I just hate that you're losing Derrick Henry. I mean, I think the value in DJ Moore will definitely help your roster. And I think Montgomery will help your roster down the stretch as well. I'm still very high on Montgomery. I'm just concerned because he's injured, and you're going to need another running back to start for now. That's the only part that's concerning me. Outside of that, and I mean, I guess losing Derrick Henry is concerning as well. But outside of that, I don't think it's that bad of a trade, man. It's just tough to make the final call because you are losing arguably the best running back in all of fantasy football. And right now, I'm pretty sure he's RB1 on the season. I mean, I would almost. I don't know if you can get anything out of that, but even if you can get Montgomery and Moore, excuse me, and a low end running back 2 or 3, just someone to start at the moment, and maybe ship away. Let me check here. I don't know who else you could ship away. Maybe Rager, because you know you're going to fill that void with more and potentially get just a low end running back on the deal, just so you have someone to start. That might be an option too. And then I'd be willing to take a risk on Alex Collins at that point. But it's a tough one, man. There's a lot to consider there for sure. It's a tough one. Let me know what you're thinking at this point with everything. Now that we've talked it out a little bit more, but that's a tough call, brother, for sure. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I've got some decisions to make on the waiver. Man, I can't believe Jared Cook put up 20 points. Well, 19 points. Raiders trying to do something here, but I think this is an L for the Raiders, guys. Derek's, it's tough because Henry has that very favorable matchup with the Jags. Yeah, it's another good point. Who do the Eagles play this coming week? Let's see. Let me see. Well, hold on. I'm going to do this. Jalen Rager. Wow. Kansas, or a great matchup versus Kansas City. Only had 3 points in full PPR. So I don't even know if you can start him. It's really tough, man, because I think that, like you're saying, I mean, you could potentially win matchups starting guys like Jalen Rager as long as you have Derrick Henry in, you know? The biggest problem is you can't start David Montgomery right away. There's a lot to chew on there, man. It truly is. That's a tough one. I'm pretty torn there. But like you said, if there's not great options on the waiver wire, I don't know how much it's going to benefit you. You might end up with no RB2 for a little bit and no Derrick Henry. So that's really tough, man. You've really got me stumped here. Let me know if you have any other thoughts going on with that. I could go back and forth on that one like all night long. As the Raiders fail to convert on 4th down. And this will be a dub for the Chargers. Chargers looking very good. 2 divisional wins 2 weeks in a row. Unless something absolutely insane happens. We got the Colts, Ravens. Colts at Ravens next Monday. That should be another good Monday night game. JRX, I think Henry could really carry my team. Yeah. Chase Brown agrees. And I think I agree too, man. It's like you can start guys like Rager and still win because you got Derrick Henry in. And I also truly do worry that with Montgomery being injured, right? I don't know how valuable that is to you at the moment. It's a tough call, but my gut feeling is telling me to hold off for now. let me know at the receiver position who's available on the waivers, because maybe you can work with something there. Chase Brown, don't trade a player that could give up 40 points any given week, and he is the team. Yeah, he's going to see an insane amount of volume on a weekly basis, right? I really like David Montgomery, and I really like DJ Moore as well. But I don't know if I like them more than Derrick Henry. You need another receiver. Let me know on your waiver what receivers you're looking at. Might be something to work with there, as opposed to going out and getting rid of Derrick Henry. I mean, I'm assuming that was your first round pick, right? I wouldn't jump the gun on a lot of our first round picks, guys. My gut's telling me to tell you to stick with Derrick Henry. But I mean, I think DJ Moore could do a lot for your team. Don't get me wrong. But I'd be interested to see who's on the waiver wire. So yeah, the Chargers get a dub. The Raiders finally lose. 2 3-1 teams. The Broncos are 3-1 now. Kansas City's still at the bottom of the division, right? 2-2. Good division, man. We might see 3 of these teams make the playoffs. Seriously. Chase Brown, should I pick up Gesicki next week and bench Fant? I like both these guys. Noah Fant's the one guy on the Broncos that I do have some faith in while Teddy Bridgewater's down. Just because Noah Fant has played with him before. So the chemistry's already there. And let's see, how did Fant finish this week? He had a good game, man. I mean, I know Bridgewater was in there for part of it, but 2 tough matchups. Pittsburgh, 3 tough matchups. Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, Cleveland, all within the top 13 teams against opposing tight ends. So that's a factor as well. And then when we're looking at my guy Mike G, at least 6 targets in the last 3 weeks, 2 good stat lines past 2 weeks. He's got Tampa Bay and Jacksonville, which are very good matchups coming up. And then Atlanta, which is not as good of a matchup as it sounds like, but still pretty good matchup. So I do like Mike G coming up, but I'm not against Noah Fant. I think you should pick up Gesicki just for depth. I think it's going to hurt you, man. So yeah, I do like both those guys, but we'll wait until Wednesday night to give you official word. I mean, when we do our quarterback tight end stream, but yeah, I like both those guys, man. I think they're both good additions to your roster. JRX, I think the best wide receiver option on waivers are Randall Cobb, Van Jefferson, Tony, and Khalif Raymond. I mean, honestly, man, I'd rather start Cobb or Raymond over Jalen Reagor right now. Would you agree? Is Jamison Crowder available? That might be an option as well. And I'm assuming that Tony is Mooney that got auto-corrected. I mean, I almost like all of those guys more than Jalen Reagor. So I don't think you should make the trade, man. I don't like any of those guys nearly as much as I like DJ Moore, of course. But yeah, I'm a little opposed to that trade at the moment. I would hold on to Henry if I were you. Evan Harrison, what is going on, brother? Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you had a great Monday. Horny for Eckler. Yeah, I think a lot of Austin Eckler owners are. Fantastic game, fantastic performance by Austin Eckler. Great volume overall. Looked very, very good tonight. So kudos to all you Austin Eckler owners. He played fantastic. You should be proud of that decision to draft him. Just under 30 points or over 30 points, and depending on your scoring format. So fantastic game, man. Yeah, not much else to say. Mike Williams, absolute bummer of a game. 1 reception for 11 yards. And he's got Cleveland and Baltimore coming up, then a bye week, New England and Philly, all in the top 10 against opposing receivers. Tough break if you own Mike Williams. Who else? Herbert had about 21 fantasy points. Good game. Let's see here. Let me pull up. How did Keenan Allen finish on the night? Jared Cook balled out, man. Let's go, Jared Cook. Let's see here. Keenan Allen, 11 targets, 7 receptions, 36 receiving yards. Not a great stat line. No touchdowns, of course. How did Waller finish on the night? I mean, he got the 1 score, so still a good night for Darren Waller. 7 targets, 4 receptions. So, yeah, good night for Darren Waller as well. Josh Jacobs didn't have a very good night. Let's check the final stat line for Mr. Jacobs. Let's see here. Yeah. Coming off injury, but 13 attempts, 40 rushing yards. Caught all 5 passes for 17 receiving yards. So, not great. All right, let's see here. Eric's. Yeah, I'm going to keep Henry. I think I have a good chance of going 3-0 these next few weeks. Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I think it's a good keep. I would not drop him. Well, obviously not dropping him. I would not trade him. Look to the waiver wire for another receiver as well. Evan Harrison put up 163 points, full PPR. Mostyn put up as much as I wanted, and I picked up Renfro for Chark. Happy about my week overall. Yeah, that's a great replacement for DJ Chark, man. Good work there. But 163 fantasy points, nothing to sneeze at, man. So great work. Happy to hear that you had a good week, my guy. Chase Brown, not 33 points. Yeah, unfortunate, man. Yeah, these Chargers receivers did not play very well tonight. Carlos, what's going on, man? Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing fantastic. Is Eckler the new Kamara? It's a good question. He's always kind of had this potential, right? And it's really coming alive with the consistent quarterback play of Justin Herbert. And, yeah, he's being implemented pretty closely to how Kamara gets implemented. So, yeah, I think it might be fair to say they're definitely both very relevant in terms of full PPR. Chase Brown, need Allen to perform better, but at least he gets good targets. Dropped a lot of balls. Yeah, definitely in terms of targets, had a good week. But really only had a solid stat line in terms of full PPR. And not even that solid of a stat line at that. So, let's see. Evan Harrison, someone from the Chargers is more than likely going to put up around 30 a game. Yeah, the way they're playing right now between Eckler, Allen, Williams, and I guess Jared Cook, who had about 20 fantasy points tonight. Yeah, it looks that way. JRX, who does Steven have in his lineup? This week he had Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, Chris Godwin, Jamar Chase, Mark Andrews, Saquon Barkley, Rodrigo Blankenship, and the Washington football team. He put up this is a half PPR league, 131 points. He did have an early season trade. He traded Tom Brady and DJ Chark for Saquon Barkley and Josh Allen. And at the moment, he is definitely winning that trade. On his bench, he's got Trey Lance, A.J. Dillon, Gainwell, Madison, Brandon Ayuk, and Allen Robinson. So he was 0-2 to start the season and won last week and is now continuing that win streak here in week 4. So Steven's team looks all right now for sure. Looks very good. Looks much better than mine. I'll tell you that much in that league. So let's see. Real goaded. I lost again, officially 0-4. Sorry to hear it, brother. It's a long season, brother. I mean, I'm 1-3 in my 12-man league, and then 2-2 in my 20-man league. Chase Brown says, "Me too, Rio. Feel your pain." It's a long season, guys. We got plenty of work left to do. Don't give up, man. You can still make a fantasy playoff win a fantasy championship with losing 4 games. So don't give up, guys. Plenty of work left to do. It is a long, long season. And JRX says I'm 0-4 too. Yeah, don't, guys. I mean, it's a long season. You can still make the playoffs with losing 4 games. Think of it that way. JRX, how did he manage that trade? Chase Brown, for real, he finessed that, man. I think, I mean, the guy he traded with is the worst team in our league, and I think it was just that was when Josh Allen. I mean, this was in week 2, so Josh Allen hadn't been playing great. Saquon Barkley was playing bad, and this guy's team has like no receivers, and actually like no running backs. Especially now they traded Saquon, but truly had like no receivers, and yeah, a little bit of robbery in the long run. I'm thinking some people in our league were kind of upset about that trade, but 2 grown adults and they can figure out a trade on their own, right? So I was like, whatever, you guys figured it out, and I'm not mad at you guys. But yeah, it was a damn good trade for Steven, looking at it now. So I don't know how he pulled it off, to be honest. I also think that the other guy really just wanted Brady. This was when Brady was playing at his peak on the season so far, right, in those first 2 weeks. So actually, when we posted a video about that, some people were like, I don't know if that's a good trade. So yeah, I think I agree, though. I think he finessed that trade. JRX, Henry will carry me to the playoffs. I surely hope so. I can definitely see it, man. Chase Brown, banking CMC comes back soon and will carry me. I certainly hope so, and I certainly hope it works for both of us. Evan Harrison, pick up Damian Williams. Could be a good call. Could be a good call for sure, man. I like Damian Williams right now as well. But he's got a thigh bruise or something. So we do need to monitor that situation as well. JRX, it doesn't sound like you're a fan of that trade. No, I didn't really mind the trade. I gave Steven full disclosure to make the trade, and he got my input on it. But I personally don't do a lot of trades. But no, I didn't mind the trade at all. I was just having my head was starting to feel funny for a second there. I do actually suffer from migraine, so I was like kind of spacing out, hoping nothing was happening. But no, I didn't mind the trade at all. I do know I got a little quiet there, but I wasn't trying to do that in terms of the trade. But yeah, I don't know how the hell he pulled that off, man. And Steven always does that. He always gets year after year, he makes these trades that always benefit him, and I give him credit for that. I just I should probably do more trades, if I'm being honest. To probably help me out a little bit, because I always try and stick by the guys that I drafted outside of like full desperation, like in my 20-man league when Tua got hurt. So, yeah, I don't know how he did that. I mean, looking back, I mean, Brady and DJ Chark, now DJ Chark's injured. Brady's not playing nearly as well from a fantasy perspective. And he received Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley, who are both like at their peak right now of the entire season. So, Chase Brown, just don't trade with Steven. Yeah, I never will. That's for sure. That is for sure. I think every year he makes me about one offer, but I don't think I could ever trade with Steven. Yeah, man. JRX, as much as I like the stream, I can't stand people who don't trade. Yeah, I don't know why I've always been like that. And I think that the channels made me definitely consider that a little bit more. Like, I was getting like offers for James Robinson, my 12-man league, and I was just like, no. And I mean, I need James Robinson. I don't want to trade him just because I also need him, right? But yeah, I can understand that, man. That's fair. And especially seeing how much it helped me in my 20-man league, although I was fully desperate for a quarterback. I'm probably going to be considering more trades down the road as well. I'll say this much, man. When we have our official D-Catch, league and everything, and you're in there, I'll do some trades in there for sure. James, what is going on? Really good to see you in the chat. Happy to have you here as always, man. Trade Cook, Godwin, and Damian Harris for Henry. Lockett and Henderson in PPR. Initially, I'm saying yes, because you're getting Henry, who's playing more consistent than Cook. Lockett and Godwin, I actually view pretty similar fashion, and so I don't mind that there. And I think Henderson's an upgrade over Harris the way he's been playing. So yeah, I like that trade off the bat. Let me know the rest of your roster, of course. Um, but initially, yeah, I do like that trade, man. Chase Brown can't wait to win the catch league. Yeah, man, I certainly hope so. Excited to put that together next year, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun for sure. But yeah, James, I think that's a pretty good trade overall. Let us know in the chat, guys. What do you guys think of James' trade there? I think it's a good trade. I mean, you're getting Derrick Henry, so at the end of the day, you're getting Derrick Henry. Don't think I need to say too much else. JRX, anything for King Henry? Yeah, I don't disagree with that statement whatsoever. All right, let's see here. See if there's any news. Love it, Henry to the moon. Says Chase Brown. Yeah, I agree. Man, I almost drafted Derrick Henry over Christian McCaffrey in our 12-man league for the first pick. I've always been a Derrick Henry supporter. He was like the only reason I was relevant in fantasy last year. Oh, that's not true. I had a pretty decent team last year, but I love me some Derrick Henry, man. I don't really understand why he's not more heavily considered. I guess there's just not that PPR value there, but overall, man, love me some Derrick Henry. And when he does show up in terms of PPR, good luck, because you already know he's showing up on the ground game. Yeah, I'm all for some Derrick Henry. James, I've got Kyler, Hopkins, CD, Cook, Gibson, Kelsey, Godwin. Bench is Harris, AB, Gaskin, and Julio. I think it's a good trade, man. Looking at the rest of your roster. Yeah, I truly do. I don't think you're paying too much of a price. I mean, you've already got Hopkins and CD in front of Godwin. I think it's an upgrade. Henderson over Harris, and I think Henry's been much more consistent than Dalvin Cook has been this season. And even when Dalvin Cook's healthy, I don't think it's too much of a drop off. So I like the trade. Yeah, I would definitely consider that trade, man. And the chat likes it too, man. So I definitely think it's a good trade. Looking at your roster, man, you got a good team too. You definitely got a shot, man. I mean, between Kyler, Hopkins, Kelsey, adding Derrick Henry, CeeDee Lamb. Jason Kenobi says, yeah, take that trade for sure. Derek says, I think that's a good trade. I agree. I certainly agree. Yeah, I got nothing else to say, but I would take that while it's on the table. And Jason Kenobi asks, is this an 8-team league? It's a good question, James. Yep. I think it's a good trade regardless, man. They can probably drop Myles Gaskin. I'm not a fan of Gaskin at all right now. But yeah, I certainly think it's a good trade, man. I'll take that all day long. All right, let's see here. See if there's a better post-game show on. All right. Yep, says James now. Chargers held Raiders to season low in points, 14, and total yards, 213. Yeah, this Chargers defense is all right, man. They're not extremely flashy or anything, but they're not bad. Derwin James got an interception tonight. Like to see that. Evan Harrison, do I pick up Gainwell for Eli Mitchell? Yeah, I think that's a good call. I'm higher on Gainwell right now than I am Eli Mitchell. So, yeah, I think it's a good call, man. I think that's a good drop and add. Man, I've got so many moves to make in our 12-man league. I don't even know what to do. My team's a mess. My team is a total mess. All right, let's see here. Let me bounce to week 5. I got to get a dub. I've got a tough matchup. Who do I face in week 6? Oh my gosh. Okay, better matchup in week 6. Facing a team with no wins. Okay. Chase Brown says no. Let's see. Man, I need an AB to start balling out, man. I put a lot of stock into him. I guess he had a pretty good game against New England. But I need more of him. Man, David Montgomery going down is really going to hurt me moving forward. Really hurting me. Chase Brown. Oh, wait, I think I read it wrong. Yeah, I think Evan is dropping Eli Mitchell for and picking up Gainwell. And in that case, I think it's a good transaction. Oh, my. I think I'm going to get smoked this week in fantasy, guys. Week 5 here in my 12-man league. I'm going to have to put a lot of thought into these matchups. What did Henry Rugg finish with? 7 points in half PPR. Chase Brown, I like it then. Sorry for misreading that. All good, man. Yeah, I like it as well. Man, I need Christian McCaffrey and David Montgomery to come back. The problem with my team is I went so running back heavy, as Evan confirms he's dropping Mitchell. The receivers are so light, and the quarterback and tight end I took early on were Lamar Jackson and Mike Gesicki haven't been very consistent this season at all. So my team's hurting, man. It truly is. Evan, unless there's another running back you think I should get, I think Gainwell's a good option for sure, man. But outside of that, I mean, if Damian Williams is available, I mean, we do need to monitor this injury that he's got. But if he's starting, the volume he's going to see is going to be absolutely worth it. Latavius Murray potentially, but I'm still not completely sold on that, man. I can't believe AJ Green's like a top target right now. I mean, I guess I can. Panthers are trying to get CMC to practice this week, so we never know. But I doubt they risk him and just wait till week 6. Yeah, I mean, you brought that up earlier, and it went over my head that we're already in week 5, just like at the bottom of the screen and on the thumbnail and everything. But yeah, that's good news. That's good news for us, brother. I definitely am going to need, if I lose this in week 5, I'm going to need a dub in week 6 for sure. Let's see here. James Zhao, pick up Jacoby Myers, Galladay, Shenault, Juju, or AJ Green. In my opinion, the two receivers who are most likely to be consistent out of those guys for the rest of the season are Shenault due to DJ Shark's injury, and then AJ Green. The problem with the Cardinals is there's so many options in that offense that that might differ a little bit. So maybe I'm backing out of that a little bit. But I think at the moment I like Shenault and AJ Green the most. I think Galladay is a good play for now, but when Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton come back, I'm not exactly sure. And while Jacoby Myers is being presented as a wide receiver 1, I just don't know, man, because I just don't trust this New England offense, and they don't put up a lot of points, So would I drop Gaskin for one of them? Yeah, I would drop Gaskin for either AJ Green or Shenault. And at the moment, I don't think Galladay is a bad play. But in the long run, I don't know how that's going to work out. Not crazy about Juju right now either. Not really crazy about Myers like we just went over. So I would absolutely value AJ Green or Shenault over Gaskin right now, for sure, man. Jackie, what's going on? Hope you're doing fantastic. Happy to have you in the stream tonight. Blew a 22-point lead with Mike Williams versus Eckler at the end. That is a absolute bummer. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, Williams did not show up. Chase Brown, should I drop Beasley for Sanders in full PPR? That's tough. I think Beasley is probably going to be more consistent with his floor on the season, being around like 10 points or so. And then I think on the season, Sanders is going to have a much higher ceiling. So that's tough being, full PPR and everything. But I think I like Sanders a little bit more. But once again, same problem with the Cardinals that we have with the Bills is there's so many options that it's just hard to say who's going to ball out on a weekly basis. Jackie, is Williams back to a boom bust situation? It's possible, but we know how high the ceiling is on a weekly basis. The way that game script just went, Chargers got up early and they really didn't need to stay competitive. And every week so far, they've had to stay competitive. And I think that had part to do with that. But it's hard to tell. And I would hold on to him for now, for sure. I still like Mike Williams a lot on this season. JRX, do we know how long Montgomery is out for? Unfortunately, not. We don't even have a final verdict on what the injury was. So, unfortunately, not. But, yeah, we haven't got any news. It's expected to be a couple weeks. So, outside of that, we don't have any news. And it's not, all we have is it's supposed to be a couple weeks. We don't know if it's 2 weeks or 6 weeks or what. And it's not a serious knee injury, but it is a knee injury. So, unfortunately, that's all we've got to work with. Jason Kenobi. I like Jacoby Myers in PPR because he's a wide receiver one in an offense featuring a QB that makes a lot of short passes. That being said, I'm not sure if any of those guys should be rostered in 8-man. Sure, that's a good point as well. I don't mind Jacoby Myers. I just don't trust the Patriots offense, I guess. But very, very good evaluations there, Jason. Chase Brown. I watched that Bills game and Allen has a connection with Sanders. I absolutely agree. There's good chemistry there. And I think that Sanders is going to continue to grow as well within the offense. So, yeah, I like Sanders and where he's at as well. James Howe. We don't know the severity of the injury, but it's estimated around 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm certainly hoping it's closer to 2 weeks and not past that because I truly, truly need David Montgomery. JRX, maybe I can buy Montgomery low and just wait it out. You can, just make sure you have an option in the meantime to play. As James Al says, that's definitely an option. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good time to buy David Montgomery. I still believe in him on the season, absolutely. But just be careful if you're hurting at the running back position, right? But yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea by any means. Definitely still like him overall. JRX, I have Henry. Yeah, I mean, well, do you need to start 2 running backs? Because I just am worried that if you trade for, if you trade for Montgomery and you can't start him because he's injured, that's what I worry about. But outside of that, man, yeah, of course you're good with Henry as your RB1, of course. But yeah, tough calls, man. Tough calls. Chase, I just realized that your comment has been up this entire time, but I think that's kind of dope. So we'll just leave it. It's funny because on my screen it's not showing like that from where I'm controlling everything. Then I just double checked through my YouTube app, and it is still up. So hey, but it's a good point. Yeah, I think Derrick Henry is the best running back fantasy football, and Christian McCaffrey's out. I agree with it. So yeah, I don't mind that being up. James out. CD and CEH for Ridley and Mike Williams in a different league. I'd have to see the full roster. I hate doing that to you guys. I know it's a pain to type them out. But I don't think it's that bad of a trade. And I'm assuming you're trading CD Lamb and CEH. So if you need the depth at receiver, I think you're getting a pretty equal value in Ridley versus CD. And if you're good with partying at the running back position, partying with CEH, then I think you get an upgrade at the wide receiver 2 position with Mike Williams as well. So I don't hate that trade by any means, man. Chase Brown, I'm honored. Yeah. Good, man. I'm glad. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I changed that a while back and put up join the Catch Fam today, subscribe and hit the like. But I like that your comments up too, man. I think it's dope. So no worries. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wind down the stream in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So go ahead and get any Final Fantasy Q&A out for the night. I do have to be up for work in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and wind things down as the game has ended. But go ahead and get your Final Fantasy Q&A out over the next 5 to 10 minutes. And we should be back on around 7:30 tomorrow. 7 at the earliest, 8 at the latest. 7:30 is the goal. Steve and I will be doing our new format for the week. On Tuesdays, I'll do running back must starts. He'll do wide receiver must starts on the live stream. Then we'll go over fantasy Q&A. And then on Wednesdays, he'll do quarterback must starts. I'll do tight end must starts on the live stream. And then we'll go through fantasy Q&A once again. Thursday night, I'll do a little bit of a later Thursday night stream for the Thursday night game, the second half of the game with fantasy Q&A, kind of like what we did tonight almost. Then Friday, we're going to kind of be playing it by ear, but generally I'll just do a general fantasy Q&A stream, a shorter one on Friday. And then some Fridays, Stephen and I are going to do like a podcast topic as well on the live stream. Also, the live stream is nice because we want you guys to be a part of that as well. Just, even if we're doing some segments where we're not responding to every comment, we still want you guys to be chatting and being involved in the conversation as well. And then Saturday, we'll always have the late night stream. Sunday, we'll have the pregame stream. And then most Sundays, we'll do a late Sunday night reaction stream. But we won't always do that. It just depends on the week. And throughout the week, we'll have our must-start defensive positions uploaded, must-start kickers uploaded, and some other content here and there uploaded as well. So hope you guys like that format. That's kind of what we're working with at the moment. James Zhao, your running backs are McCaffrey, Swift, CEH. Receivers are Diggs, Lamb, Odell, and Hollywood. So you've got McCaffrey, Swift. In that league, I'm 3-1. I'm banking on CMC coming back and tanking next week and have stud wide receivers. As long as you're good with that, man. As long as you're good with potentially having no running back too, then yeah, I don't mind that. As Chase Brown asked, what's your record, James? Seems like you need running back depth if you have a losing record. But you're 3-1. And Chase Brown says, I think it's a fair trade. Jason Kenobi, yeah, I take that deal then. Yeah. I don't think it's a bad trade. If that's your plan, man, if you've got conviction in it, I don't think it's bad. And if you truly need to, if you truly don't like it, at the end of the day, you can still add a running back on the waiver wire if you truly need to. Potentially consider dropping like Odell or something like that. So I think Ridley will turn it around. Yeah, I don't disagree, man. A little biased because I have him and he just needs touchdowns. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I think it's a good trade, man. I think you should definitely consider it. And you've got the support of Chase and Jason as well. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and wind things down. Had a blast tonight. Thank you all for coming out to the Monday night stream. Always have a good time with you guys. Like I said, stay tuned, man. We will be, we should have our defensive must starts out first thing in the morning, and then we should have our scheduled stream up for tomorrow as well. We're aiming for 7:30, so keep posted, guys. Then Tuesday we'll also be doing a 7:30 stream. Wednesday we'll also be doing a 7:30 stream. Thursday have a Thursday night football stream during the second half. Friday general fantasy Q&A possible podcast topic. Saturday, late night stream. And of course, Sunday we have the pregame stream and a potential Sunday reaction stream. So appreciate all you guys. Appreciate the catch, fam, man. Stay tuned, man. Hit that notification button so you guys know when we are going live and when we are dropping our pre-recorded videos. But I truly do appreciate the support, and I appreciate this community more than you guys know. I look forward to continuing watching this community grow. You guys are truly the best. Appreciate the catch, fam. Like I said, more than you guys know. Chase Brown, appreciate it, and good night, man. Love the stream, JRX. I'll catch you guys next time. I will see you guys shortly, man. Like I said, stay tuned. 7:30 tomorrow. Catch will be here. Make sure you check out Steven's defensive must start video in the morning as well. Got nothing else to say, man. I thank each and every one of you guys for watching and are listening. And remember, it's out here on the catch. And peace.